As soon as Selena presents herself in front of Lady Rosalind, she is quite astonished to see what Selena is wearing currently, but she decides to do it anyway since Lady Rosalind demanded her to meet her despite her issues. Selena remarks on the fact that Lady Rosalind was truly arrogant about her role, so she made her do something like that out of spite for no reason at all. Lady Rosalind then starts to claim that she is acting rude as even being rude has its own limits, but Selena is now crossing all of them at once. Selena keeps standing for the same fact that she doesn't really have anything to wear, and it doesn't seem that she is concerned about what Lady Rosalind thinks of her anyways. Then when Lady Rosalind points out that she could have just worn what she wore the previous day, Selena remarks how Kalcion is the one who ripped them all apart last night, and Lady Rosalind starts to glare at Selena as she wasn't expecting her to say something like that. Selena thinks that Lady Rosalind's reaction is worth noting as she is getting what she truly deserves, and at that time, Lady Rosalind claims that at first, she decided to offend her and then she is now spreading lies about obvious intents as if she is committing a grave sin. Selena isn't someone who is about to sit and digest any kind of spiteful words coming out of Lady Rosalind's mouth, so she decides to claim that she was just matching her indecency in the first place. They both then start to bicker about each other's lack of common sense, and after that, Lady Rosalind goes on to talk about how she now completely understands the wardrobe selection of Selena, as she thinks of her only as a poor woman who doesn't have money to buy dresses. Selena doesn't seem to think about it as much, and she goes on to fire back at her opponent, saying that Lady Rosalind shouldn't be getting her nose into the Duke and her personal matter, as she is the woman who was brought in by the Duke in the first place while he still stands beside her in this case. Selena then remarks how they are now about to be seeing each other more often, and Lady Rosalind doesn't seem to understand her words as she knows that she is about to leave in a while to reach her own destination, which will make it quite hard to meet each other. But it seems that Selena was indicating the fact that they are soon about to meet each other in the capital, as she will be going to the capital as the Duke's partner in the current year's celebration of 300 years of the National Founding Day. Selena then bickers at Lady Rosalind, asking if she is about to retire from society, and Rosalind is now frustrated to hear that Selena is the one who is about to accompany the Duke and no one else. Selena also points out the fact that she is quite taken care of by the Duke, as when she begged him for a while, he decided to take her with him on that occasion. When Selena finishes her comment, Lady Rosalind claims that she is having a hard time digesting the fact that Kalcion gave up on his dignity to let Selena accompany him in the matter, which only makes Selena laugh as she continues to make sexual remarks about both of their private matter. Lady Rosalind then stands up from her seat by banging on the table with her hands, as Selena made such a crude comment about the Duke and herself as if she is some sort of harlot. But when she stands up from her seat, Lady Rosalind notices Kalcion standing behind Selena, and Rosalind realizes that it seems like she is the one who is bothering Selena in the first place, so she decides to claim that Selena has insulted the tea party on her own accord. But before she is about to say anything, Lady Rosalind notices that Selena has started to cry already, so she doesn't have the time to explain the situation to him at all. As soon as Kalcion notices crying Selena, he goes on to embrace her, and it seems that Selena has planned through for it beforehand, as she even sent a letter to Kalcion before getting in the tea party. Kalcion calls out for Lady Rosalind, remarking on the fact that his place isn't the society that she dominates, which Lady Rosalind agrees to as she doesn't have anything else to say. At the same time, Kalcion was feeling that Selena did well, since she is the reason why Rosalind was caught red-handed, or she would have continued to act cruelly on her own accord without his knowledge in his own place. As the situation gets better for Selena, she is relieved to realize that the situation turned in her favor. If it works well through the end, it all will be remembered by Kalcion for sure. She thinks of planting more of her impression as pitiful as she can, so she starts to state that she is feeling truly cold and asks for Kalcion to hold her. As Selena finishes her sentence, Kalcion then holds her above in his grasp to carry her, and remarks to Rosalind saying that the tea party has finally ended, which feels like a total victory for Selena, who is now smiling alone, wondering if she has to lay the last attack. While Kalcion is moving on, Selena glares right at Lady Rosalind to get out her middle finger to provoke her even more, remarking a huge screw you on her face, which gets Lady Rosalind feel the worst way possible, as it truly hurt her ego. Then as Kalcion and Selena move inside their room, Selena starts praising Kalcion for improving so greatly in such a short amount of time, as he came right away at the right time. Not only that, but also, he was able to make Rosalind his enemy as he rescued Selena in the end by holding her close, which put a small grin on Kalcion's face. After dropping her on the bed, Kalcion announces that he called in the tailors to make some dresses for her, which feels too soon for Selena, as she relayed the message through the morning letter. Kalcion seems to be making it fast as Selena only has to wear the nightgown and continue wandering around the mansion wearing revealing clothes for the whole time, creating awkward situations. Then Kalcion gets serious for a second and begins advising Selena, as she will be meeting nobles on a regular extent, and insists that she will be needing to be able to face various patterns for her own good. Kalcion knows that Selena already has her acting skills as her weapon, but Kalcion is now ready to give her knowledge, as with that Selena will be able to make it her second weapon, as they still have 20 days before they leave for the capital. And in that time, she will have to familiarize herself with manners, social skills, and basic culture, as she is about to become a proper noble lady from now on. The word noble lady starts to weigh on Selena, as she knew that she was supposed to play the role of an uncultured and coarse lady, so she didn't expect that Kalcion would want to change that all of a sudden. Kalcion then claims that he doesn't really want to change the whole course of it in an instant, but all he knows is that if she wants to enter the high society, she will be needing their secret ways of conversing with each other in the society. Selena then realizes that what Kalcion suggests is quite viable, as it is necessary for her to know the concept. Otherwise, she will not even be able to get along with them, let alone dig up more information about them in the first place. But Kalcion then also adds that it will be bothering him at the same time, which feels laughable to Selena, as she now knows how he is quite concerned about Lenbird's reputation after all. Kalcion adds that Lenbird's reputation cannot be getting dirt onto it because of her alone, but all he knows is that he doesn't want to see Selena get ignored by someone in the high society. And the moment he speaks his mind in front of Selena, she is astonished, as she has never expected that Kalcion would think of it like that. Selena goes on to think how less important of a person she is in front of Kalcion, as she truly keeps zero expectations out of him, as it is quite annoying at the same time. When she asks Kalcion if he has learned their secret way of conversing, Kalcion claims that it was never needed for him to learn something like that. When Selena suggests that they should be learning it together, Kalcion says no, knowing that it is quite annoying for him. Selena starts to protest, as she insists that he shouldn't be dismissing her words like that, despite the fact that he is someone high-ranking in the society. But now he will need to know something like that, since he is stuck in a corner for now. As Selena continues to lecture him about the necessity of learning the secret ways of conversing, Kalcion then admits that he will be learning it with her without objectifying the matter from now on. Then Selena claims that as he didn't want to learn it in the first place, they should be making it more fun in that case, as she proposes that they should make a bet, which starts to feel like a life-threatening battle to him, as he calls it some sort of grandiose. Selena then insists that it will be just as much studying as if he is about to get a compliment sticker. When Kalcion doesn't seem to know much about a compliment sticker, she starts to call him a delinquent. But Kalcion doesn't seem to believe that, since he was the son of the Duke of Lenbird. Selena then claims that she would like to ignore the fact, since she has never seen it happen, and starts to convince her how important it is for them to make a bet with each other. When Kalcion learns that he has no way out of the situation, he agrees with her to ask what the bet will be about, and according to her, it will be fulfilling a wish for the person who learns the society's secret way of conversing first. Kalcion remarks that it will not be so hard for him, but he adds that she should be the one caring about it, as it is more disadvantageous for her. But Selena seems confident, saying that she is good at using her body, while Kalcion starts to act like an opponent by saying that he will be doing better, as he had been interacting with nobles for decades already, while she is the one who came into this world some days ago. Above it all, Selena declares the bet between them, once again saying that the loser will be fulfilling the winner's wish no matter what it is at the time. Soon, Selena starts talking as if she is about to go to sleep until the tailors arrive, as they called them in the morning, which typically means that they will be arriving at the earliest before dinner, which feels rather weird to Kalcion. As she continues to hear some sort of weird noise outside, the tailor kicks the door open, announcing that nobody would dare to be late on the request by presenting his greetings in an instant. The tailor then announces himself as Devon while huffing as if he is about to die soon from the lack of oxygen in his lungs. When Selena notices high gratitude for Devon, she starts to cry as she notices that Devon is working quite hard to survive and gives him permission to start right away. Devon then quickly starts to take measurements off of Kalcion while praising Kalcion for having a perfect body, which starts to feel weird for Kalcion as he remarks Devon by saying that he was talking about dresses and not suits. While Selena notices that the stupidity of Devon is only about to get him killed, she suggests to Kalcion that he shouldn't be getting that mad at him, as he can be quite the open-minded person, so they should just put him to work. She then remarks on Devon by saying that she cannot be wearing the same outfits, and Devon starts to prepare by saying that she can now wear some appropriate clothes so he can take the measurements. Devon then starts to whisper his apologies to Selena, as she can now start getting comfortable for now. The whole time Kalcion is glaring at them, and Selena points out to Kalcion that he has to go to his office as she knows that he has to handle a lot of documentation for the time being. When Kalcion comments that he can be of help in this situation, Selena claims that she can be picking out her own clothes, which makes her wonder as she already knows that Kalcion doesn't really know anything about women's fashion in the first place. Devon then claims that the measurement is done, so he is ready to show her the designs, to which Selena gets prepared to select the designs, and Devon bets on his 10 fingers by promising that he will make Selena the most beautiful lady in Lenberg for real. But after hearing out Devon, Selena goes on to embarrass the Duke by saying that he claimed that she looks better without any kind of clothes, which is actually Selena's revenge for Kalcion not leaving for office. After hearing out Selena, Devon promises that he will make the best dress that will not be hiding her beauty, which starts to get Kalcion under the bus once again, while Selena keeps on acting more and more teasing and profound for Kalcion. They then go on to talk about the previous Duchess's dress, which gets them to talk for a while before they move on to choosing the designs. Devon realizes that Selena is about to enter society as she starts talking about the trending fashion in the capital. He shows her a dress that will supposedly fit her, having a modern and luxurious look for her image. Excited, Selena asks Kalcion how it is for him, and he claims that it is okay, which makes Devon ask if she can keep the designs with 5 different colors. Then Selena claims that it is better to have different designs than colors, and Devon remarks that he only said it because the previous Duchess did something like that always. It seems that the Duchess used to dispose of everything else when she ended up selecting one design out of the collection according to her mood, and Selena starts to feel like the Duchess was some sort of crazy bourgeoisie, which is quite beyond her imagination. While Selena goes on to dream about that topic for a while, Devon asks if he should focus on making one dress for each design, and Kalcion barges into the conversation saying that it should be no less than 7 types. Devon agrees to do something like that and even adds that he will add every color that exists in the rainbow, which feels good to Kalcion. Then Selena in the middle claims that he shouldn't be doing something like that as she thinks that there is a color that fits every design, as he starts to make all sorts of colors it will mean that the whole thing was mass-produced. Kalcion then remarks on the fact that extravagance is the basic quality of aristocracy sometimes, which makes her think of a way that makes her sound quite promising in front of Kalcion. When Kalcion gets curious about her thoughts, Selena claims that the nobles should be wearing luxurious items instead of mass-produced ones, and they should only focus on making one copy of the item great instead of focusing on creating multiple ones of the same item. After explaining how they are about to handle the fabrics and everything, Selena asks Devon if she was thinking of a way that wouldn't work, and Devon yells out claiming that Selena is a genius for the fact that she is someone beautiful with the ideas of making beautiful things for real, as in her way. They will be able to create something so unique which will have the ability to emit colorful lights. After hearing Devon, Selena herself is also astonished that it can happen. Devon claims that he will be needing a lot of human resources and additional expenses, and Kalcion claims that he will be investing greatly in it. He adds that the Lenberg will be providing the gold and gems, and the fact that they will be heading into the capital 20 days from now on. Devon will have to prepare around 100 pieces, each one with different designs. Selena starts to think that Kalcion might even be insane, and she goes on to lessen the pressure on Devon because of obvious reasons, but is turned down by Kalcion almost immediately. Soon, when they commence the process, the butler comes in with the whole bag of gold coins as a down payment, which quickly feels enough to Devon, while Selena starts to wonder that the whole kingdom must be crazy. Even the tailors. As Kalcion was sitting inside his office, Jeanette announces herself behind the doors, and it seems that she is there to start Selena's etiquette. While Kalcion waits for Jeanette to answer the question, he thinks that something bad might have happened as she is taking quite some time to answer the question. But all of a sudden, Jeanette calls out by saying that Selena is nothing but a genius, which feels awkward and new to Kalcion as he wasn't expecting to hear something like that. Jeanette then adds how it is obvious that Selena has never learned any kind of etiquette in her whole life, as she doesn't have natural habits and common knowledge. But she is good at absorbing everything that was taught to her, including all the complicated and delicate etiquette. Then a few hours ago, Selena is seen having a conversation with Jeanette, and she continues to ask why is there the two of them while asking about where the Duke is. Jeanette adds that his lessons will only begin when she finishes the basic ones first, and as she keeps on sitting on the chair, Selena continues to wonder why Jeanette is the person working to teach them etiquette, and nobody else, since she isn't able to read her expression. At the same time, Selena is having a hard time forgetting the hostility that Jeanette showed her on the first day, but she decides to speak her mind, claiming that she never wondered that someone like Jeanette would be her teacher. Jeanette claims that the whole thing was ordered by the Duke himself, as she was born as the second daughter of Baron Marin, which let her have experience in the language of the capital's society. Jeanette then also remarks how she served the previous Duchess and attended many gatherings to announce her presence as a capable person to teach Selena how to be polite while suggesting to her that she should be doing her best trying not to disgrace Lenbert's honor. Selena realizes what Jeanette is meaning by saying those things, as she knows that Jeanette feels like it will be better for her to bluff than kick her out in the first place, meaning that Selena should be getting out of the place on her own for her own good. Then Selena asks what would happen if she were unable to learn even after trying hard, and Jeanette states that she will be doing her best to teach her so that doesn't happen ever. When Selena presses on the matter once again, Jeanette repeats the same thing once again but in a harsher manner while staring at Selena like some sort of hawk looking at the prey. Soon enough, Selena starts to wonder what she would do and what kind of action she would rely on, as there are chances that she will be making the lessons harder for her to digest, or she would be changing the ways of her teaching. Then there is always a chance that she will be making her disappear without anyone knowing about it. But Selena claims that she understands the whole thing, so Jeanette can begin. Above all things, Selena starts to feel that the whole thing is thrilling to her, and she likes it as well, as she will be enjoying the feeling of nervousness for a while. She believes in her knowing that she is an actress who has lived countless lives that she has never even experienced before, so the whole learning session is going to be easy for her. Jeanette then begins her lesson and announces that she will start teaching Selena each thing one by one, and they will continue to repeat each one 5 times. But according to Selena, it will be a waste of both of their time, and she suggests that Jeanette should be showing everything at once, which Selena has to keep in her mind, claiming that one time is enough for her. But after hearing the words out of Selena's mouth, Jeanette doubts that a commoner like her would ever be able to do something like that just by seeing it once, but Selena stays confident by keeping her strong stance after everything, which gets Jeanette speechless, as she wasn't expecting to hear something like that. Jeanette then makes it quite clear that if that doesn't work out in the end for Selena, she should have to prepare herself to pay for the Lenbert's head maid's wasted time. Selena agrees with her statement, and it starts getting Jeanette quite nervous, as she never expected that someone could be like that. In the end, the thing that was promised by Selena truly happened, as she only had to show her everything once, even when the whole thing contained more than 50 moves, proving Selena's worth. Starting from the sitting posture to the angle of her arms, it starts to make Jeanette feel as if she is emitting elegance even from the tip of her fingers. Not only that, but also, Selena figured out a lot of things on her own, which leaves Jeanette with nothing that she can now point out, which makes her feel that Selena must be as if she belonged to the royal family. Then when Selena finally asks Jeanette how her performance was, Jeanette is forced to declare that it was perfect, and then we move on to the present time, where Jeanette is explaining the whole situation to Kalcion, who is interested to know about Selena's performance. Jeanette reveals to him that she thinks that Selena might have some other identity, and Kalcion claims that it is not the case for sure, and he will be guaranteeing her identity in the first place. Happily, Kalcion asks Jeanette if they will have enough time before leaving for the capital. Jeanette remarks on the fact that they will have enough time, which inspires Kalcion to join the lessons from the next day onwards, as he knows that he hasn't learned the society's techniques the most longing manner, which he will be needing in the future for sure. Jeanette then takes her leave, knowing that Kalcion will also be under her care from the next day, and Kalcion continues to sit on his chair to look at Selena outside while she is happily spending time with the maids. He thinks to himself that if Selena can finish that sort of complicated etiquette in a day, he will supposedly lose the bet, which starts to get him concerned, as he doesn't know what she will end up asking in the end. Then at night, when the maid is about to bring food for Selena, she seems to know about her lesson with Jeanette as well, which makes Selena realize that the rumors have been spreading throughout the whole mansion. As Selena keeps on pressing the maid on the matter, she starts to talk beautifully about Selena, which makes her think that she might be someone who is quite out of place. Selena then starts to plan what would happen if she got her in her own trap, so she can make her talk about the things that she doesn't want to talk about. Selena then starts to claim that she likes the fact that nobody hates her, but she also states that Jeanette wasn't a reliable person in the first place. The maid then starts to get curious about what she is saying, and Selena goes on to mimic what Jeanette was saying before starting the lesson, and even starts to make up a lot of things. The maid then seems surprised at the fact that Jeanette acted like that towards Selena, since she is quite close to the Duke, but it seems that Jeanette is usually like that to the maids in the mansion, nagging about their honor. The maid claims that she doesn't know how Jeanette ended up staying beside the previous Duchess, which piques the curiosity of Selena, as she was trying to get more information out from the maid. The maid states that despite the fact that the previous duchess belonged to a noble family, in Jeanette's eyes, she was always lacking something about her which bothered her so much. The maid then elaborates that there are even rumors in the mansion saying that Jeanette got hit for nagging so much, which starts to get inside Selena as she wasn't expecting such a twist in behavior. Selena wonders how someone can go that far with their superiors and realizes that not a single person can be free from Jeanette's nagging if they want to keep living inside the mansion. But to the maid, Kalcion is scarier than Jeanette, and at the same time, Selena points out that the Duke isn't useless like Madame Jeanette, and doesn't provoke a fight, which gets agreed by the maid. Then while sipping on the coffee made by the maid, Selena wonders at the fact that the maid is quite good at talking, which makes her wonder if it is done on purpose or if she was born with it in the first place. At the same time, she knows that she has to keep talking if she wants to gather information, so it will be better for her to keep her by her side. Selena then asks her name since she is a similar age to her, and as the maid introduces herself as Juna, Selena claims that she will be looking for her in the future, which gets Juna in a good mood as she claims that she would love to have a chat in the future. Selena then asks if she can ask a question to her as something is bothering her, and Juna tells her not to worry as she will not mind about it. Selena questions Juna about the ladies, saying that if she keeps acting up she will die, or if she is greedy, she will die, and asks who is the one that died in the end for the same reasons. After hearing this whole thing, Juna insists that she cannot say this carelessly to either Madame Jeanette or Kalcion, as she is now about to reveal something crucial to her. Juna then starts explaining how around 1 month ago the Duke's prospective fiancé died by suicide in the same house in the capital, and after hearing that, Selena starts to react, asking if Kalcion has a fiancé. But Juna tells her not to worry as the woman died before the engagement ceremony, so there is no supposed love between them. Then Selena goes on to ask if she had seen the body herself, and it seems that she did, as she used to be one of the servants who followed to the capital. Selena asks Juna if she used to be beautiful, and Juna points out the fact that she used to be normal and plain at the same time. She was gloomy and introverted, having a dark facial expression which starts to weird out Selena. While hearing this, Selena starts to wonder how an evaluation of a person can be so different, as she is a whole different person to Kalcion, while to Juna, she is something else, as if there are similarities, but with a different nuance. Selena then asks Juna directly if she didn't like her, and Juna claims that she is right, and the reason behind this is that the woman was sleeping around crazily in the capital. Then the scene moves on to Selena and Kalcion after finishing up the whole day of duties in the mansion, and they continue to converse about how the lesson with Jeanette went. When Kalcion claims that Jeanette has highly praised her, Selena starts to act like she is out of her mind, as he had never expected Jeanette to praise her, as if she is nothing but a psychopath. Selena then curiously asks Kalcion if she is the same way to him as well, and Kalcion elaborates that she isn't that harsh to him since he was never taught by Jeanette personally, while Selena remarks that the other maids also do not receive the lessons from Jeanette at all. Selena then brings up questions about Jeanette's behavior, including the previous duchess, as Juna told her a sneak peek of things that happened previously between Jeanette and Kalcion's mother, as Juna told her that she even was slapped by her in the end. Then Kalcion claims that it seemed normal for her since it was something that can be done by a loyal head maid after all, and it starts to make sense to Selena as well, but she sees it differently after all. Knowing that she is truly about to leave for her own world, she insists that they should be making a real contract about Ariel, to know if she really died from suicide or if it was something else. Selena then apologizes to Kalcion for bringing it up once again, but she insists that they will have to think about it if the contract is cancelled. It might be hurting his pride a little bit, but she wouldn't be able to go back to her world at all. Kalcion understands the gravity of the situation and asks why Selena didn't think that it can be a murder, to which Selena elaborates that the enemy doesn't always have to come from outside. As Kalcion understands what Selena was referring to, he grasps the fact that Selena was indicating Jeanette to be the main problem that made Ariel take her own life, and asks for an explanation from Selena in detail. Selena is glad that Kalcion isn't angry because of her making such remarks about his ex-fiancé, and she realizes that even Madame Jeanette could get kicked out if she doesn't have any use, knowing that she is about to face the same fate as well, while she feels bitter, wanting to return quickly. Selena then claims that they should be organizing the premise at first, and asks Kalcion if her suicide can be counted as a murder if her mental health was being threatened because of someone from outside, knowing that it will be hard for them to think about. After making her own remarks, Selena continues to wonder what kind of opinion Kalcion she would have, as knows that a man in Duke's position taking vindictive revenge against another noblewoman could raise a war. Kalcion then speaks out, claiming that it is murder in his opinion, and Selena prepares to speak out the names of the people who made Ariel want to give up and died before reaching the Duchess position. Up until all this time, Kalcion has already guessed that Jeanette is among them, and at the same time, Selena remarks that the maids who followed Ariel to the capital are the ones at fault as Jeanette always took action for Lenbert's honor while the maids were always talking behind her back. Kalcion claims that it doesn't seem like anything at first glance, and Selena states it only varies depending on his perspective since he has never lived while being mindful of other people like Ariel. When Kalcion doesn't seem to realize the difference, Selena points out the fact that he had a whole different place in life than Ariel, as the Duke has the power even if he doesn't mind other people, but others do not have the same luxury as him. Then when Kalcion brings up Gian Dukedom, Selena lays it all on his perspective. What if she got kicked out? Her position would be the one who ruins the honor of the dukedom, since if a person is ostracized, she can think of doing anything. Selena then remembers how the people used to gossip about her and the director drinking and passing time alone while she didn't do that at all and her work was ruined just because of some baseless rumors. Then the people behind the movie blamed Selena for ruining the image of the project and claimed that she should have been thankful as they didn't ask for compensation. But in the end, it was all well since she had quite some people around her to support her at the time, and she wanted to let everything go. But it was quite different about Ariel. Selena wonders if there was a single person who believed in her to keep supporting her as a friend. And when Kalcion asks for examples from Selena, she claims that she doesn't know as they cannot truly be like Ariel to judge the situation right now, and at the same time, Ariel felt threatened that she was about to get kicked out of the mansion. Kalcion then remarks that he wouldn't care what scandal arose, claiming that the Gian Dukedom was simple, and he will just give them money, and they will just provide him with a duchess without any presents. When Selena realizes that it wasn't difficult, she thinks of the situation that gave her a presence, and remembers what Juna had said about Ariel. Selena then states the truth about Ariel's character, as she didn't even leave a single man in the capital untouched without thinking about what Kalcion would say to reply to her accusation. Then Kalcion asks Selena why a problem would be when everyone lives like that, as it is not uncommon for 1 or 2 rumors to spread about the Duchess of Lenberg. Then Selena makes it quite clear that only he is the one thinking like that and nobody else, while for some people, not being welcomed by anyone after facing problems here and there to being kicked out and abandoned by their own family keeps throwing them at the face of death, as they realize that they probably do not belong where they are right now. Selena ends up reacting harshly toward Kalcion and apologizes to him for raising her voice for no reason, claiming that she got excited in the heat of the conversation after getting emotional about her past. When she calms down, Kalcion grabs onto Selena, promising that no matter what kind of rumor continues to spread around about her, he wouldn't mind at all, and it will apply to her especially. He then advises her not to shrink back from the people's words, as he wants her to remember that unless she runs away, he will not be ending the contract. Ever. He promises that he will not be abandoning her, but he also doesn't want Selena to have any kind of affair with another man while she is still in contact with him. When Kalcion came to see Fonel off before she leaves the Lenberg mansion, Fonel is quite happy to have the grace of Kalcion personally coming to see her off, claiming that she is quite touched by his heartfelt activity. But Kalcion remarks that he only happened to come in front of her accidentally while he was taking a walk in the same way. Juna then whispers into Selena's ears, saying that Fonel must be going to the capital as well, so she must have left for the capital to prepare, as she will be needing to spread rumors and prepare accessories, which she is quite diligent at. Kalcion then bids farewell to Fonel, and Selena remarks to Rosalind that they will be meeting in the capital soon enough to poke her about the situation, but Rosalind starts to act as if Selena isn't about to get the chance to do so, as she says maybe in her face. Selena gets thoughtful about her reasons to say maybe, as if she is threatening to get rid of Selena before she even reaches the capital. Selena somehow feels scared right now, so she grabs onto Kalcion's hand, claiming that she will be sticking closer to him from now on, and to which Kalcion just nods and agrees to it positively. The next day, Selena and Kalcion get in the same class as Jeanette is about to teach the manners of high society, which starts to get Selena excited. Jeanette remarks that Kalcion wouldn't need to learn that much, as she will be simply listing a few things that would be important for him to know. Selena then starts to poke Jeanette for having a change in her attitude, and Jeanette then lashes out at Selena, as she has already told her to use a polite way of conversing when she raises a complaint. Selena then states that they aren't even in a real situation, so she shouldn't be reacting like that, while remarking that she is better when it comes to real life situations, as she has already seen it beforehand. Jeanette then brings up the fact that she wanted Selena to make it a habit even when there is no one looking at her. After listening to Jeanette, Kalcion points out that her way of teaching is stricter than what he thought in the first place, and Jeanette claims that there is bound to be a difference between the lady's etiquette and his etiquette for obvious reasons. When Kalcion asks why Jeanette starts stuttering as she doesn't have anything to answer Kalcion right now. Suddenly, Selena asks for a moment from Madame Jeanette to excuse her, saying that she has already made it clear that she isn't interested in the Duchess position. Then when Jeanette says that she already knows, Selena repeats her words once again by saying that she doesn't even have any kind of intention to stay here forever, as she will only be living until it is time for her to leave in the end. Selena assures her that there is no need for her to bother her so much, and she doesn't know if she ever did it to someone else, by indicating the things that happened to Ariel. At that time, Kalcion starts to feel the excessive pressure since it happened in front of him, which must be just the tip of the iceberg in the whole incident. Kalcion then remarks on Jeanette, saying that he only told her to teach her just enough, so she doesn't tarnish the honor of Lenbert, and Jeanette then states that she now understands. Kalcion then brings up the fact of Selena is fast learned, and since he goes to learn a bit when he was younger, he can end it without Jeanette being so strict all the time, and to which Jeanette agrees instantly. Then as the lesson passes, Kalcion keeps on making mistakes while going through all the etiquette and everything, for the fact that Kalcion is truly wasted when it comes to manners and sayings. When Selena starts poking Kalcion because of his weak points in the etiquette session, and Jeanette continues to insist on Selena, saying that she should be gentler with Kalcion, while Kalcion looks out of his mind properly because of the heavy mockery made by Selena. Then Kalcion ends up revealing that it is too hard for him to keep holding on to, and asks if everyone has to learn all of it to stay alive as a noble. At that, Jeanette answers by saying that all ladies have to learn all that, and there are also some cases where men would have to learn it if they are immature. Then at the time, Kalcion realizes that all the noble women could have said anything in front of him, and Jeanette is glad that Kalcion now finally understands the depth of the situation, which needs one to learn manners and etiquette. Selena then brings up the fact, saying that she will miss not being able to make fun of Kalcion once again, as she could have done it as well, including all the other women in the capital. When Kalcion states that he now understands it, Selena ends up teasing him with more questions, and Kalcion ends up embarrassing himself once again while Selena continues to correct him till the end. As Selena starts to get more and more hectic through the end, Jeanette ends up stopping her from going much further than that. But Selena continues to question Jeanette for that, as if she was contributing the most to Kalcion's lesson. Kalcion then states that he has finally lost the bet, and he claims that he will be fulfilling her wish so she can just stop bothering him from now on, but at the same time, she wants him to learn the etiquette for obvious reasons, to use it as a way to converse with each other. As Selena starts to practice with Kalcion once again, he ends up embarrassing himself by saying stupid things, which makes him think that he will never be able to bring success when it comes to the secret way of communicating as a noble. When Selena continues to press the situation by saying that she cannot do it if Kalcion doesn't accompany her, Kalcion remarks by saying that she would rather die than keep doing it. Kalcion then stands up because of the requests made by Selena, as he states that he will now prove his capabilities with his body, as he asks for her hand. It seems that Kalcion now is ready to move on to the dance class, since the conversation class is over, and he is quite excited about it. Selena thinks that the man is only being silly, as he is all of a sudden so proactive, as Kalcion asks Selena if she knows how to dance or not. Selena doesn't know how to dance properly, and Kalcion realizes that it is the time for him to shine, as he will be the one to teach her how to dance. He starts to show how the whole show will begin after entering the central hall, as they will have to start the dance by greeting each other, and when Selena follows his way of doing so, Kalcion is surprised to see that she can do something like that on her own. He then takes Selena's hand to place a kiss on her hand, which gets Selena to blush automatically as she notices her unnecessary handsome face, making her feel like the whole room is getting hot all of a sudden. She realizes that Kalcion has realized it already, as she is the one who continues to tease him while she isn't the one immune when it comes to charm as well. Kalcion then hopes that he will be moving on instead of saying anything, as she starts to get nervous, but she ends up asking what they are about to do after finishing what they are doing right now. Kalcion then starts the lesson by showing the basic steps, as she doesn't have to memorize the patterns, as she will be needing only to follow the men leading her. Kalcion then holds onto the hip of Selena and her hand to begin the dancing steps to continue to move after taking Selena's permission. The whole time, Selena continues to wonder how beautiful Kalcion is with his big eyes, prominent nose, and handsome forehead even, not to mention his eyes are pretty colorful and clear. While focusing on all these things, Selena starts to get nervous and tries to sway her mind somewhere else, and at that time, she brings up the fact regarding the wish he was about to grant her for being able to grasp the noble things. She then states that she wants them to use nicknames for each other since they are in that kind of relationship right now and it will help them to be sweeter to each other. Kalcion doesn't seem to have any kind of objection about it, which gets Selena surprised as she now has the authority to call Kalcion everything, even including the name Kalcion, and Kalcion allows her to do so because she asked for a wish. Selena notices that Kalcion is now hesitating even though he promised in the first place, but she is impressed that he kept his promise with her till the end. Selena then realizes how wrong she used to be when she thought that all men are just the same and doesn't have any kind of difference to them at all. She realizes that Kalcion knows how to be careful toward women even though he says he knows nothing about how to treat a woman in the first place. Selena now knows that Kalcion is a better man than she thinks, and soon she gets pulled close by Kalcion. Soon the dance is over, and when Selena asks Kalcion about it, he seems rather silent about it, while Selena remarks that it was nice to dance without a piece of music as it was fun because Kalcion remembers the dance too well. When Kalcion asks about it being fun, Selena remarks that it was fun for her after all, while Kalcion remembers how someone used to compare him to someone, stating that he is nothing but boring like a wooden doll, while Selena is the first person to change his thoughts like that. While Selena continues to talk to Kalcion, he seems to be in some sort of deep water as if he is not in his right mind and starts asking Jeanette how he danced. After thinking for a minute, Kalcion ends the lesson claiming that he will be going back and resting for the day, while Jeanette and Selena both bid good night to him. Then as Kalcion is about to leave, Selena calls him by the name that she gave him, Kalcion, claiming that she had a lot of fun, which makes him smile by saying that she had done well as well. Then a few days later, it seems that Selena had finished her preparatory training for high society, and even finished packing at the same time as Devon had managed to make 100 dresses in 20 days. Now Selena is feeling like despite all the ups and downs, she is getting it done for real as she is about to leave for the capital the next day. Suddenly, Selena remembers that she has to do something before leaving and calls out to Juna, who then comes for her running as she had called for her. Selena then praises her so much for packing her things as she has a lot of dresses and accessories. Juna decides to act humble by claiming that it is her duty to do so as her maid, and asks if she is nervous because she is about to leave for the capital soon enough. At the same time, Juna asks Selena if she would like some tea, and Selena replies positively by saying that she would like that. Selena realizes that Juna is quite gracious when it comes to sticking at someone, as it hasn't been that long since they met, but she is already affectionate toward her. Selena then feels like Juna is her manager and decides what she will be wanting by herself. Then Selena also knows that Juna is definitely one of the maids who followed Ariel to the capital. She must have been close to the capital like how she is right now to Selena. Selena then thinks Ariel could never have been happy just by the marriage with the Northern Duke Kalcion, as she came from a family that needed financial support. Then Selena realizes that when the situation was bad for Ariel, she must have relied on Juna, while she was quite someone chewing her out behind her back. Selena thinks that, as she had expected, Juna is an indirect suspect in this whole thing, even though she wouldn't ever directly kill someone with that small tone at once. Selena then asks Juna if she had packed her belongings, and Juna claims that she doesn't know about it since Jeanette was the one in charge of the whole selection personnel. When Selena senses that she isn't one of the people who is listed to go, Selena wonders who might be belonging to the group of Jeanette's subordinates. But before all that, she knows that Juna will have to go to the capital for sure, so she can be finding clues that are important for the matter. Selena insists to Juna that she will be requesting Jeanette to include her on the list, and Selena thinks that Juna is about to talk behind her back, and that way she will be able to get some sort of clue. Selena and Kalcion then can be seen sitting inside the royal carriage together, and Selena seemed to be bored in the situation, as Kalcion isn't someone who would communicate with the companion if they were alone. Selena thinks of making a conversation and ends up asking what Kalcion is reading, and it seems that Kalcion is busy with statistics and analysis of urban population and regional population dispersion policy. Because of boredom, Selena continues to ask him weird questions to keep herself busy, but Kalcion feels weird that Selena is acting curious about things that she isn't usually curious about. In the middle of the conversation, Kalcion starts to show her the map of the kingdom where Lenbird territory can be seen, including all the north, east, and west of the continent, as it is quite vast, just like a pot lid. It makes Selena remember that the top of Lenbird is the Saindart Mountains, and above it is the land of monsters that no humans can go to, as it is also close to the place where Kalcion was able to find her. Then Kalcion moves on to show Selena that Selena is the greatest place to live in the north, as there is a hot spring flowing there which makes it warm even in winter. While they are busy with Selena ends up asking him about the capital's boiler, wanting to know if it is a good place to live as the earth had something named boiler in her life. Then Kalcion moves on to explain that the population in the border of Selena increased a lot, which is why they will need to find a method to spread the hot spring further. Selena realizes that it must be like governing a country, and Kalcion elaborates that it is similar to a country as there is no central interference in it after all. Kalcion then also states that Lenbert is tax-free because it is the land of the founding people of the continent, which then makes Selena question why it isn't better for them just to be independent. Kalcion then makes it clear that it is possible as the military is also separated as well, but it is not happening since it is annoying to Kalcion after all. Selena doubts, thinking that there must not have been any proactive dukes before Kalcion, and Kalcion claims that he is the most proactive one until all this time. Kalcion makes it quite clear that it annoys him since it is once a year, but if he thinks of going independent, there will be a lot of things to do for him, as even before the crown prince was crowned, he knew that the annoying thing would happen. When Selena asks what the reasons behind the prince might be acting like that, Kalcion states that the supporters of Prince Raisin are quite unstable. Selena quickly realizes that the royal family will continue to harass him until they lose, or they will continue waiting for his fall, as it is better for Kalcion to die rather than fall from his position, as Kalcion has no successor as well at this point. The grand territory and money will all go to the royal family. Selena then slowly starts to realize that the death of Ariel might not be something so simple, as it was their plan to get in the way of removing Kalcion as slowly as possible. Selena now feels like they are right now walking into the tiger's den with their own feet, and Selena ends up asking Kalcion if the prince is also included in the list of suspects. At that moment, Kalcion claims that he knows that the prince has some power to do something like that directly or indirectly, as it is not the society, but the politics where Kalcion is directly confronted. Selena wishes that the whole situation can turn out to be a big misunderstanding, but she knows that there is no way around it. Soon the men of Kalcion announce that they have arrived at Dunpel, and when they hear some weird noise inside the carriage, the men notice that Selena and Kalcion are climbing on each other as they reveal the carriage door. But as soon as they meet their eyes, Selena requests the men to close the door as they are in their intense moment for the time being. 30 minutes ago, as soon as they reach Fief where they will be staying for the night, Selena is glad that they will not have to sleep in the carriage at night, while Kalcion reassures her that there is a suitable place to stay the night along the way. Selena then makes it quite clear that she wasn't tense in the first place, since she can sleep anywhere anytime she wants, and suddenly she notices more and more people at once. Kalcion confirms that they are coming out to welcome the Duke, and it gets Selena as she didn't have the time to clean up herself, which starts to get her nervous as she gets on to fix her hair as soon as possible. But she makes it clear that she cannot do it alone and asks for Kalcion's help, but Kalcion doesn't understand a bit of it as he continues to make mistakes as the hair starts to get more and more entangled. Then suddenly, when Kalcion ends up pulling the dress hard instead of pulling it off slowly, both of them fall down on each other, and we reach the present moment where Kalcion and Selena are both on each other in front of the men led by the Duke. The group of men are flabbergasted to see them in that kind of position, and the man who opened the door instantly closes it after being embarrassed by the situation. Then at supper, Selena feels the embarrassment flowing insanely in the first meeting, as everyone is now keeping their eyes on Kalcion and her. Selena then decides to keep the embarrassment as her biggest weapon, thinking that she can turn the crisis into an opportunity. She sends a signal to Kalcion to be prepared, and then Selena instantly goes on to lay her head on Kalcion's lap without thinking about it for once. After seeing the state of Selena, everyone including Kalcion and the others is surprised, as Selena then starts to put on an act as if she doesn't understand anything without Kalcion. She directs Kalcion to listen to her, and he then starts to put food in her mouth just as she wanted him to do so, while she continues to act like she doesn't want to eat with her own hands. Selena then also realizes that Kalcion needs to be tied in the situation, so then everyone can relay that Selena was the person who could make Kalcion do things like that, while nobody else could do something like that. Then when everyone moves away, Selena claims that they will have to practice while they are in Fief, as she will not be able to tell him to get ready using society's secret way of conversing. Selena also makes it clear that making a facial expression like what Kalcion did earlier as if he was eating shit wouldn't work out for them well, and starts lecturing Kalcion about it for a while so he can correct himself. She then declares that all that he needs to do is act like he adores her so much and wants to keep her beside him till the end. Kalcion then goes on to practice by learning the way to praise her, which starts to get embarrassing for Selena. But she starts to get mesmerized by Kalcion's way of elaborating on her beauty, as she was out of words to reply to him. She then also claims that it will be great for him if he can do that in the actual situation to make him get confident about the situation. Soon the maids call in both of them to have their bath, and Selena thinks that their embarrassing moment now finally ends and releases a sigh of relief. The moment they enter the bathhouse, the situation gets embarrassing for both of them as they continue to wonder how they are about to use the bathroom at the same time. Selena starts to feel like she is about to go crazy, as if the maids are doing some unnecessary things for them while she is not in the position to show her disgust. But she was believing that Kalcion might say something. But instead of saying anything to anyone, she notices that Kalcion has already taken off all of his clothes, as if he isn't a bit embarrassed about the situation at all, which surprises Selena quite graciously. Then when the maids are getting ready to massage the Duke's shoulder, Selena stops the maid by saying that she will be the one having the honor to do so and requests Kalcion to listen to her. Kalcion ends up listening to Selena and insists that everyone should get out of the bathroom, and Selena claims that she will now start serving him and directs him to move over. Selena makes a joke about Kalcion leaving another woman to handle his body while she was away, but Kalcion remarks that it wasn't as if he was doing something weird, and Selena seems to agree with him by doing the same thing. Selena then slowly starts to massage his shoulders and starts asking her why he is frozen, as he took off his clothes earlier as if she wasn't even there. She then pressurizes him even more, asking him what the maids would think when he doesn't even consider her presence at all, to tease him even more. Kalcion starts to get nervous about the situation and pleads with her to stop, which makes her realize that he is now feeling guilty for no reason. Selena then plots to do something more mischievous to shock the maids as they are still outside, and it seems that she was planning to make moaning sounds once again to make it look like they are having their intimate situations after all. In reality, Selena was just massaging Kalcion's back and making those weird sounds, and when they get out of the bathroom, Selena seems to be carried by Kalcion as they ask for directions to the bedroom to the maids. Just as the maids are about to say something about something that was done by Madame Jeanette, Kalcion and Selena move on, shocking the whole group of maids behind them, which makes them gossip among themselves even harder. Then when they finally enter the bedroom, Selena exclaims, saying that she is truly proud of him and continues to praise him for his skills to cooperate with her. Selena claims that they will continue to take this approach as much as possible, as she will be doing the massage harder to make an even stronger drama for the people to swallow. Kalcion suggests that they should be stretching before they go on to sleep, and Selena claims that she will work out with him to teach him a new way to train. Selena starts feeling like they are now invincible, since they have already found a way to fool people because of their acts. The next day at dinner, Jeanette comes asking for Selena to Kalcion, claiming that she needs to have a conversation with her, which starts to make Selena nervous, as she wasn't thinking that she will have to face Jeanette soon enough, wondering if she is going to be invincible in front of someone like Jeanette. As soon as Jeanette asks for Kalcion's permission, Selena asks her why she is taking his permission while she is right in front of her to talk to, and it seems that she is taking permission from him as she wants to talk to her privately. When Kalcion gives her permission to do so, Selena thinks that she might have heard too many things from the maids, as she promises to herself, saying that she will not be losing this time for sure. Then when Selena and Jeanette are alone, Jeanette claims that they should both be using separate quarters from now on, but Selena remarks on the fact that it must be depending on the Duke's wishes, as it is not a matter of an etiquette instructor to meddle in. Jeanette then explains that she is only thinking of Lenbert's honor as a person from the Lenbert's duchy, claiming that she is clear at taking actions herself. When Selena asks what kind of actions she would take, Jeanette claims that the whole thing will be depending on Selena's behavior, which makes Selena think that Jeanette might be thinking of her as an immature little girl, even though she is only acting like that on purpose. Then they continue to bicker about the etiquette lessons, and Selena continues to ask for the limit until Jeanette instructs her on her actions to make crude jokes about her. It makes Jeanette claim that she is only serving her advice to be careful, at least to prevent the servants from talking behind her back, while Selena remarks what she had said about taking action, as it might have sounded like a threat to her. Selena then goes on to let Jeanette know that she will not be following her orders, while Jeanette continues to argue back at the topic, saying that Selena doesn't care even a bit about Kalcion's honor. Selena then goes on to remark that the Duke isn't a child, and if she caused any harm, he would have already stopped her from causing more damage to his own reputation. Then when Selena remarks how she is a guest and the fact that she was brought inside by Kalcion himself, Jeanette starts to enrage, as she wasn't expecting that Selena would talk back to her to this extent. Selena then also points out how Jeanette is quite different from the other noble guests, including Infernal, who didn't have a good attitude toward her from the moment she came into the mansion. Then Selena goes on to face Jeanette, saying that she doesn't give a damn about Lenbert's honor as she goes around to pick her prey on her own accord. Selena then moves on, saying that she should be careless about her as well as she was toward infernal. While she moves on, Jeanette realizes that she has made a mistake as she underestimated Selena in the first place, even after seeing the bond between the both of them. But on the inside, Jeanette believes that she needs to take care of the one to keep the Lenbert's honor, and heir, as it is her duty to take care of the person who will become the candidate for the Duchess, and Jeanette promises to herself, saying that she isn't going to let Selena have what she wants. Then after returning inside, Selena is quite ecstatic because she was able to win against someone like Jeanette, and Juna goes on to elaborate on how scared she was while she was watching the both of them argue with each other. When Selena continues to explain how she had gotten against Jeanette, Juna exclaims by saying that she is feeling great and proud of her for doing something like that. Soon when Selena goes on to the bathtub to have a bath, she notices that she doesn't have any kind of hair tie with her, and Juna claims that she will be back with it soon enough. Before she is about to leave, Selena requests her to bring something to drink, and Juna goes outside the room to fulfill her duties. When Juna moves on, Selena continues to relax on her own, reminiscing about what has happened in the whole day and the previous day. Suddenly, the light inside the bathtub goes off, and as the time continues to pass, she realizes that the windows are now open despite the fact that she had closed all of them before sitting in the bathtub. Then she starts to exclaim that the whole scenario might be played by Rosalind, as she held some kind of grudge at her, and at that time, someone gets in front of Selena and grabs onto her face with full force so she cannot make a sound with her mouth, while Kalcion notices that something might have gone wrong for real. As soon as Selena gets hit, she realizes that if she gets caught in the bathtub, she will surely drown, and when she tries to run away from the intruder, she slips on the ground, and the intruder then goes on to grab her mouth to keep her silent once again, which makes her unable to speak anything or shout for someone. But after managing to elbow the intruder, she somehow manages to yell for help, which then scares the intruder so badly that the person ends up running away from the place by using the windows, while the Duke shows up by knocking out the door. Selena directs the Duke on the way the intruder used to leave from the place, and Kalcion orders his man Dion to catch the person who got inside. Kalcion then starts asking Selena when the intruder came, and Selena realizes that the more the situation continues to unfold, it is continuing to hurt his pride, as he is unable to ask her if she is okay or not. Selena then asks him to help her as she doesn't have any kind of energy left in her body, and at that moment, Kalcion goes on to carry her on his hands once again, which starts to make Selena wonder about that kind of hospitality in the first place. Then as time passes, Jeanette comes in asking what has happened, asking if he is hurt or something. But the moment when she realizes that Kalcion isn't the one who is hurt, she starts to act mad toward the situation, which proves that she doesn't really care for Selena's well-being. Kalcion then moves on as he directs to the bedroom and asks Jeanette to bring dry clothes in their room for Selena along with a first aid kit. After reaching the bedroom, Kalcion notices that Selena has a bruise already, and it seems that it only happened because Selena was trying to run away. When Selena notices that Kalcion is treating her wounds by himself, she realizes that he is doing that since she was in quite a shock at that time even, so he isn't asking for someone else to do it. Selena then continues to wonder if Kalcion truly feels something toward her, and even she herself starts to feel giddy, thinking that she must be into him as well. She insists that she must get a grip on her state as she is supposed to do a job. Selena then goes on to ask if this is what the kind of situation he was talking about, and it seems that he was indeed talking about assassination attempts, but all he never guessed was that they would go on to select her as the target instead of him. Selena then asks how he keeps on living like that, and Kalcion states that it happened because of the negligence in guarding, while promising that it will never happen ever again. Selena asks how even after knowing that she is in danger, how can he not worry about the situation, and Kalcion tries his best to keep ease about the situation as much as it is possible for him to do so. Then after calculating for a while, Selena realizes that the assassin was thinking of creating the murder plot as a suicide, as he was trying to drown her in the bathtub water, which means that the planning is done as same as the way Ariel died, a fabricated suicide. Kalcion feels that it is highly likely that the intruder is the same assassin, and Selena remarks to him asking if Jeanette made something like that happen, since it happened just the time after she argued with her and left to take a bath. Then Kalcion claims that it wouldn't have been this sloppy if Madame Jeanette was serious, which then leaves them with Fonel and Rosalind, who typically look like viable options even to Kalcion. Then when they are discussing options, Dion comes in claiming that they have lost the intruder not by fleeing, but it seems that the man has committed suicide when he knew that he was about to get caught. Also, none of the clues were found and it seems that the man had followed them into the location in the first place. Kalcion then points out that they should move on with cleaning the corpse as they do not have any suspects and advises Dion to contact Selena to patch a separate investigation. It seems that Kalcion has 30 candidate families who can cause a scene like that while the capital consists of 3,000 families like that, which makes Selena lose her mind. Soon Selena realizes that they aren't going any far as they already are, and both of them go on to sleep for the night. But in the middle of the night, concerned Kalcion asks her if she is okay or not, and it seems that Selena cannot sleep because of all the suspense around the whole thing. Kalcion then suggests to her that they can practice instead of sleeping. While conversing, Selena brings up the topic of learning swordsmanship and thinks that it will be a preferable option for her since she will be able to protect herself in the end. Kalcion noticed the excited attitude made by Selena and suggests that she should get up and makes her grab a sword that was surely used on the battlefield. She then starts to swing the sword on her own as Kalcion continues to direct her. Selena noticed that the whole demeanor of Kalcion has changed as she is now noticing a gaze she has never seen before. She feels that Kalcion is acting like some professor who has found their perfect student who is also interested in their desired subject as well. At the same time, she also understands that Kalcion doesn't see her as a woman for a bit. Then the next morning, Selena starts to feel the immense pain of sword training and Kalcion insists that it is only normal for her to happen. When she suggests that they can take a rest, Kalcion remarks that training more will help and thinks of making her more onto more advanced lessons, claiming that she will now be training at the capital Mion. Selena wonders if they are about to enter the capital soon enough and if everything including the training and planning is about to start soon for her. Then Kalcion suggests to her that she should sleep for a bit since she isn't about to have that kind of break in a long time.
Kalcion holds Selena in his arms as they return to the mansion, and the staff welcomes them inside. Selena fell asleep on their return from the capital's border. Kalcion carefully takes her inside and insists the staff guide them towards the room reserved for Kalcion himself, instead of taking her to the guest room. Kalcion instructs the staff to change her clothes with comfortable sleepwear while he heads for a patrol. Although guards have been positioned outside the mansion, Kalcion wants to ascertain by himself since Selena is quite anxious after the assassination attempt. Upon hearing the assassination news, the butler called upon all his staff and carefully calmed the entire mansion. Moreover, he has already fired the staff with no clear origins. Adding more to the safety, the sentry team has been tasked to stay vigilant. After the patrol, Kalcion heads to his room where Selena is already sleeping. Confused between the sides to sleep, Kalcion chooses the left side to hold Selena in his arms. He believes Selena will sleep better in his arms. The next day, Selena wakes up, believing she must have woken up early. However, Kalcion reveals that she slept for more than 24 hours. Selena realizes it must have been due to her exhaustion, and now she feels understandably hungry. Kalcion offers to order a meal for her, but Selena refrains him. Soon it will be time for sleep, and she does not want the room to smell like a kitchen. She decides to quickly grab something to eat and get back. In the kitchen, Selena is blatantly ignored by the servants, conveying their displeasure. Uncertain about Kalcion's ex, Arrow worked her way out the staff, but Selena cannot tolerate this behavior. She reminds the maid that she is here to dine with the Duke, and instead, the maid is serving her plain food followed by her cold behavior. The maid frets to hear about the Duke. The maid pleads her to wait for a few minutes. Coming outside, the maid brings a trolley loaded with delicious food. There is a stark contrast between the meager porridge offered to Selena and the lavish meal meant for the Duke. While the Duke is in the shower, Selena decides to indulge in some of his food. Feeling lonely and eating alone, she kindly invites the maid to join her. The maid hesitates, but Selena insists, urging her to sit and eat together. However, when the maid reaches out for the food, Selena slaps her hand away. Curiously, Selena inquires if the servants get to eat similar meals as the Duke. Even if the maid eats besides Selena, she will have to eat the porridge mean for the commoners. While the maid stares at her in utter disbelief, Selena reiterates her instructions. The maid's hesitation is understandable. She is well aware of how the porridge tastes, nothing but pathetic. The maid tries to apologize, but it's futile. Selena has cunningly lured the maid into this plan as a way to avenge the insult she had received earlier. Selena cannot let go of the matter so easily. She calls for in charge. The butler appears before Selena, inquiring about the inconvenience. The butler deliberately attempts to change the focus and inquires if he shall bring her a freshly cooked meal. The butler attempts to ease the situation. He opines that the maid is not responsible for cooking, since they can also cook a limited range of cuisine and she must have messed up the method. Selena thoroughly glances at the butler, a middle-aged man bearing good looks and the authority to make decisions in the absence of the Duke. She understands what kind of man he must be. However, despite his reluctance to consider his maid mistaken, the butler finally considers punishing the maid if she is found guilty. When Selena probes the measure of punishment, the butler abstains to provide her with any information on the internal affairs. Walking back to her room, the butler takes a dig at Selena, suggesting that her sensitivity might be due to the long rides. Selena smirks back at him, but inside her mind she has already decided to pay them back tomorrow. As soon as Selena leaves, the maid inquires the butler they will be in some trouble for this. Butler, in return, is confident that the matter will not go beyond a formal call since he has never seen the Duke getting involved in such matters. As expected, the next day the Duke calls on the staff and inquires about the incident from yesterday. The butler cunningly calls it his mistake for not handling the matter properly before it reached Kalcion. When Kalcion inquires about the corrective measures taken, the butler maintains that he has scolded the maid and recommended further training for her. Moreover, she has been moved to be in charge of cleaning the reception room. She will not be seen near the food. Duke is not convinced with the punishment for pulling a prank on his guest. Butler had thought that he would easily, but Selena has successfully lured him into bigger trouble than his expectation. To save himself, the butler sacrifices the maid and proposes to fire her immediately. Moreover, he will deduct her compensation. But Selena is still not satisfied. She expects some lesson for the butler too. She wants Kalcion to fire the butler too. The butler trembles in fear at hearing about his dismissal. He quickly kneels before the Duke and accepts his mistake. Putting his self-respect aside, the butler begs for mercy because if he stays here, he can manipulate the people and embezzle the funds. Selena calmly questions the butler about his treatment of the staff and suggests that he should be mindful of the values. Selena is the eyewitness when the butler asked the maid to bring money that was deemed as an operation fund and went out on a night with some woman. The butler maintains that he is being wrongly accused by Selena, but it appears futile. Duke had earlier instructed the butler to avoid unnecessary commotions in this place. Kalcion utters his judgment and fires everyone involved in the matter. He orders another investigation in this regard, and an attempt to lie against the investigation will result in double punishment for Butler. On her way to the room, Selena turns back and smirks at the butler. She has taught him the due lesson. Back in the room, Kalcion is happy that they matched the words in the first place. He was always intrigued by the fact that the butler's clothes do not match his salary. When he saw the faces around, it became crystal clear that the matter did not involve a single being. The people who act like puppies before the superiors are often bitches behind their backs. Kalcion is certain that Arel might have experienced a similar situation too. Although Kalcion is furious for being ditched twice by the butler, Selena thinks she has gained a lot in this incident, and the staff will be far more considerate of her than usual. Kalcion thinks Selena played a bigger role here than Jeanette's dogmatic behavior. Selena requests that she train outside with the Duke, and Duke happily allows her. Selena comes across the maid in her changing room, and she insists that Selena must call her whenever she requires assistance, so that something like yesterday must not happen. Selena does not look much convinced by Juna's overprotectiveness. Most of the maids from Lenbert have returned except Juna. It appears Juna wants to grab this opportunity and lean towards Selena with no other maid around. Selena asks for pants to wear. She does just want to watch the training, but intends to participate as well. Selena is smart enough to quickly assess that Juna is actively trying to portray herself as a nice and considerate maid to her. She wonders how come Ariel did not realize her true motives, although Selena is confident that such methods won't affect her since she is well aware of Juna. Selena expresses that she has found the people quite strange to those at Lenbert, and it makes her uncomfortable too. Juna reiterates that Selena must stick with her. Although Selena is disgusted by her continuous attempts to lure her, she holds herself till she finds conclusive evidence against Juna. Even though an assassin almost killed Kalcion, Selena is shocked to witness the ruthless training sessions. Strangely, there are more soldiers in the mansion than her expectations. Selena wonders if they will be able to get through the palace gate. Amidst their training, Kalcion receives a call for a messenger from the royal palace. It turns out that the queen has sent a letter to Kalcion. The letter entails a message from the queen. She has come to know that Kalcion is in the mansion and Queen intends to see him tomorrow. Petrified by her request, Kalcion tells the staff to convey his refusal and maintain that the Duke is sick. The messenger fears that if he conveys the pretext to the Queen, she might consider that he lost the letter on his way and now he is concocting lies to save himself. The knight suggests that the messenger should say that the Duke of Lenbert has injured himself during the training. On the other hand, Kalcion gives Selena a run for the money in a duel. Poor messenger is petrified of the consequences of delivering the false message. However, the knight assures him and encourages him to go and narrate the message as stated. As soon as the messenger left, Selena inquires if they are continuing with the training. Duke looks adamant to teach her how to spar. He does not want to let her go until she matches his pace. On the flip side, the exhausted Selena is now finding it hard to match single blows coming from Kalcion. After a while, Selena begins to see his movements a little and senses a gap between his patterns. But in an attempt to utilize the gap, Selena stumbles. Kalcion quickly holds onto her and saves her from falling on her back. Kalcion appreciates her awareness. She read the movements, found the gap, and almost countered it. Impressed by her talent, Kalcion calls for another spar, but Selena strives to negate his offer. Meg can sense a clear change in Duke's personality ever since he met Selena. He ponders if something is building between them. Selena has completely exhausted herself after the training. The session with Duke is ever more intense than a personal trainer. Selena inquires if the Duke considers the Queen a suspect too, because his gestures reflected a clear displeasure on receiving the proposal. Kalcion does consider her a suspect. She is good at pretending and considers her equally terrible as Rosalind. Kalcion reminds Selena to stay vigilant. The innocent-looking Queen may lure her into her cunning plans before she gets to know it. Even though Kalcion has brought her here as a fiancé, the Queen will not shy from trying to establish a relationship between Kalcion and the princess. When Selena inquires why the Queen is persistent to build a relationship with someone who is known for his poor terms with the royal family, the Duke clarifies that his terms are rift only with the crown prince. Kalcion thinks she wants to guarantee a better future for her daughter, since she is the second wife to the king and her control will be wiped out the day the crown prince assumes the throne. Selena is growing weary of the intricacies in this place. Dealing with the nobles was challenging enough, and now the presence of the Princess Kalcion adds more complexity. Selena knows that she must be prepared for any unexpected attack from the Queen at any moment. Selena's preparation is to become society's new favorite are on course. The carriage stops in the market and Juna appears quite excited for the shopping too. Juna proudly shares how she handpicked the renowned stores for Selena. She proceeds to describe the delectable food that awaits at each shop, impressing Selena with her extensive knowledge of the area. Selena admires Juna's expertise and appreciation for local cuisine. Selena impulsively probes if the maid had gone around with Ariella a lot. The maid shakes her head, and the gesture refers to how quickly Ariel's approach changed for the shopping. Initially, Ariella used to be quite shy to buy things she desired, but as time passed by, Ariella shed her shyness and rather developed an addiction to shopping. Ariel had a knack to find the things which best suited her and always preferred the famous stores. Deep inside, Selena asserts that Ariel must be crying in the afterlife. She took Juna to such expensive stores, yet the results are slander. Selena curiously inquires whether she hails from Mayong, and the maid confidently affirms. Despite hailing from Mayong, she did not have a chance to visit the stores where only aristocrats are allowed until she served as a maid in Lenberd. A friend told her about the job in Lenberd, and she pursued the journey far across her native city in search of employment. One after the other, every revelation coming from Juna further ignites Selena's suspiciousness about her. How can she come far across the other side of the country for mere in search of a job? Juna insists that she was in desperate need of money at the time. However, Selena remains unimpressed by her excessive flattery. Juna's excessive attentiveness starts to cross boundaries, causing Selena to feel disrespected and undermined in her self-worth. With her flustered face and avoidant eyes as she faces a tough question, Selena is certain that the maid did not meet her by accident. She has a concealing plan behind it. Selena fears that someone is keeping an eye on her, with spies planted all around Selena. The stalker may have an underlying plan to kill her. During spying on Selena, lost in mixed thoughts of fear, Selena reaches the market. At the entrance, the guards don't let her inside due to limited space in the store. However, to her surprise, the guard lets the girls stand by her side. Agnosy by the response from the guards, Selena inquires them why they allowed the girls but abstained from her. The guard maintains that the girls had their appointment scheduled. To obtain the seats, the customers are required to spend more than a specific amount in purchases, or they should have a recommendation from a customer. She wants to settle this by calling Kalcion, but unfortunately, Kalcion has already rumored himself as sick. Agonized by the guard's behavior, Selena calls for the owner instead. The owner appears before Selena and introduces herself as the representative of D8th. She takes a deep glance at Selena and assesses that Selena may be a countryside noble who is probably not aware of the customs in Lenberd. The nobles from the countryside always make fun during their first experience in high society. The representative wonders how Selena may react if she disqualifies Selena here. To her surprise, Selena calmly reveals that she was planning to join the Duke in the forthcoming celebration banquet, and she came to this famous store because she is considerate of the Duke's reputation. Selena turns back, anticipating how the owner may react, and as expected, the owner hurries after her and reconfirms if Selena is the much-talked guest of Duke. The owner maintains that usually they don't allow people inside without prior confirmation, but she is ready to make some exemption for Selena. The owner guides her inside, however, there are no seats available for her. Selena does not mind either. All eyes in the store are fixated on Selena, mouths agape in astonishment. Her beauty is as mesmerizing as the rumors claim. The representative brings her the design book, which is quite different from the North, but Selene still likes it. Selena wants to leave a solid impression amongst the aristocrats around. She confidently calls for buying all the dresses in the design book. The owner stares her disbelief. On top of that, all heads around Selena are turned towards her in awe. The owner attempts to offer the rates, but Selena does not seem to care a little about the rates. She asks her to send the bill to the Duke. Her next demand trembles the owner on her head. Selena has called for 10 dresses each, and the owner cannot believe her luck. She's found a cash cow in Selena. The representative shows her dresses to try. Money does change the behaviors. A while ago, she was not allowed to enter the store, and all of a sudden, her spending has made Selena the most esteemed customer of Lenbird. Selena is now in a world where money makes people dance to the tunes they desire, though it is easier to drive people with money than drive them with an impulse. Selena exists in the tri-room, flaunting her beautiful attire. The store turns out to be worth the wait. Selena's extravagant spending has certainly created an impression of a woman of great wealth, accompanied by an attitude that demands caution. Selena appears to like the attire and orders the store to prepare the dress for her. She will carry it on her return in a while. As she approaches the exit, Smith, the second son of the Shade Baron family, surprises her with his subtle approach. Smith invites Selena to join their table nearby. Selena assesses their appearance for a brief moment. It looked rather plain than the rest of the attendees, which means they are not as influential as others here, and she does not want to be counted amongst them. She politely rejects the proposal. Furthermore, their impatience to her whereabouts assert family of Shade are rather newbies in the class. Tangling up with them will create another scandal for her. She responds that Kalcion does not like her sharing details with other, therefore she is only contented to share a greeting for now. Upon their return, Selena contemplates the stark contrast in the way people approach her compared to how they used to approach Ariel. She wonders if their previous approaches were driven by flirting, while their current approaches seem solely based on her outward beauty. May calls Ariel an attention seeker. She always aspired to lure men. Selena senses a clear shift in Juna's remarks about Ariel. At first she deemed her as gloomy, and now she refers to Ariel as flirty and an attention seeker. Selena probes if Ariel received a different treatment than her since she was the fiancée of the Duke. Juna replies that Ariella went through the same struggle, till she purchased 5 dresses and earned herself an entrance. Selena's expectation is right. Juna does know about Ariel's rejection. Juna asks Selena to visit Simeon, but Selena wants to rest for a while and heads into the flower shop nearby. Meanwhile, she asks Juna to go out and look for the empty spaces, if any. An hour later, Juna utters that there is merely one store empty nearby. However, she has not been there ever and does not recommend Selena either. Selena asserts that the maid might have done something to Ariel as well. Juna is a cunning companion. Maybe she is doing this all to discourage Selena, but she does not seem affected at all. With the information Selena gathered up till now, she is confident that Ariel is a timid scapegoat. If Selene connects the dot proper, there are several possibilities, either Finel's jealousy or Rosalind's way of removing obstacles, and the third possibility is maybe the queen won her out of the way. Maybe the prince did this as he is wary of Kalcion. Fifth is the possibility of fractional crime nearby, and the last is maybe she discovered information which she was not bound to discover. The servant ended his tall thoughts and hands over the urgent message received from the Duke. The Queen has arrived. Selena shouts at the Duke and says that what he is doing here is because he said that the Queen will be arriving soon. When she enters the room, she says how a person who is supposed to be sick can do a workout. Duke replies that at the end of the day, it is just an excuse. She says in anger that even though it does not mean much to him, even if he cannot fool her, he should at least pretend to be sick as a courtesy. She further explains what kind of acting he is doing with this kind of mindset. Moreover, she says that she has been working and eating with the makeup staff for decades. She cannot stand this anymore, and she will make him look like a proper patient right away. She makes him dress up like a proper patient with a wet towel. A must-have item for a feverish patient gets a flow or bouquet from someone visiting the hospital, and a bit of cold sweat due to fever, with a slightly leaning posture as a tired patient. After this setting, he says that even though he has been sick before and never spent time lying in bed, he says that he had to work hard because he had a lot on his shoulders in the future, and he learned that a leader should be strong no matter if he has a fever or a broken arm. He regularly endured the pain without resting. Then she painfully says that she thought that nobles were raised delicately, but he was raised roughly. Later, she consoles him because it is like a heartfelt letter to little Gioni, who must have lived a hard life. Duke asks her if she is feeling tired right now, and he replies that yes, and she has been up and about since this morning. Duke asks her to sleep for a while, and he will wake her up if there is any news about her arrival. Selena gets to sleep before saying please wake her up after 5 minutes, and Duke is watching her constantly and thinks that it is amusing to see her fall asleep so quickly every time. Suddenly, a servant comes into the room and says that the Queen has arrived. The Duke moves towards Selena, gets close to her, and says that he is very sick and asleep in his room. At the same moment, she wakes up, says that she must be careful about the time, and asks him why he did not wake her up. They both get up, make themselves ready, and allow the queen to come in. The queen comes in with her daughter and admires Selena's beauty, but Selena feels suspicious about her appearance and gets afraid of her. Queen says to Selena that it is obvious that she is wary, and she asks why she is so scared to see her. She frankly says to her that she is afraid that she might kill her. Suddenly, she changes the topic, says to Duke that it is perfect to hang out with a beauty like her before marriage, and politely tells Selena not to worry, there is no reason to kill her. She shockingly asks what marriage is. The queen says that the Duke will marry one day. It will be best if he does it with her Jeriel. On the other side, Selena gets angry, thinking that how can she talk about marriage with a young child? How embarrassing she must be. She must feel sorry for her kid. She bluntly says that she is going to live forever with the Duke. Queen satirically asks that since they guys are in their honeymoon period, they ask about their feelings of the heart. Then Duke replies angrily that he does not want to kick her out and immediately finds someone to marry, and his heart is now clear. The queen mocks Selena and says that she needs to know that love and marriage are different, though marriage is something for a mature person. But Selena replies in a humorous style that if this is so, it is not the princess who is too young for marriage. She must need the opinion of the princess. The queen instantly asks her daughter, Princess Jeriel, if she wants to marry the Duke. All of a sudden, she replies that she wants to marry the Duke. Selena gets shocked and asks her if she wants to marry the Duke. Please, princess, think carefully about it. The Duke is an old man who is twice her age. She further says that she does not know anything about love, and she will never know what he will do when he gets angry. He is also a scary old man who gets 0 points for dating, and even if she gets married, he will leave her in a room to grow old and die. The princess replies that he is a handsome guy. Furthermore, she says that it is not that the Duke is old, but that she is young. The Duke has not even passed the marriageable age yet. She has been obsessed with the Duke since her childhood and finds all kinds of unexpected characteristics in him. But Selena makes her understand that there is something important that the princess needs to consider. Love is not done alone. At last, the princess shouts at her and says that when she gets older, she will be prettier than her, she will have more money than her, and she will have more than her. The Duke says to the queen, please find a better man for her. He gets up, holds Selena's hand, and says that he will always be with her. Kalcion tells Selena that the atmosphere of the West Building appears very different from that of the East Building. It is because the West side is usually used by the Duchess. Selena says that the stairs of the Dukedom reflect Kalcion's mother's taste and look like a bridge that runs directly from the second floor to the back garden. When someone wants to meet a person they should not meet, it is a way to meet secretly. Kalcion then replies that the previous Duke allowed his mother to build a bridge for her secret affairs. He further adds that after his birth, his father made the Duchess's life as convenient as possible. They both stop talking and arrive at the peak of the West Building's atmosphere, which is bright and luxurious. Kalcion tells Selena that Ariel also uses the room without even changing anything. Selena asks about a small room which the maid, Madame Jeanette, mostly uses. Kalcion reveals to her that the room was also used on the same day that Ariel was murdered. Ariel lies in the middle of the bed. The next day, she is seen dead in her engagement dress, with a sharp cut on his wrist and blood splattered everywhere in the room. It is hard to figure out that the door is closed from the inside and the window is also closed. If someone wants to enter the room without being opened from the inside, then it can only be done from Madame Jeanette's room. But since that day, Madame Jeanette has slept with her room locked from the inside, and it is also impossible for an intruder to enter through the next room. Succinctly, Selena considers Madame Jeanette the prime suspect in the murder, but Kalcion does not find any reason for Madame Jeanette to kill Ariel. He also counters Selena and says that Madame Jeanette is not stupid enough to commit her murder. On the other hand, Kalcion asks Selena if she has experienced anything bad. She shares with him that it seems the whole world hates him, and that she does not have a place in this world. She further says that she is cursed by people she has never seen before. In addition, she is dragged into scandals and rumors with people she has never met. Eventually, she endures, holds up everything, and finally ends up winning. Kalcion inadvertently tells Selena that he has never killed anyone personally, but there are times when there is an inevitable battle between territories. He tries to console Selena by saying that she does not need to endure anything since she has him in this world. A day later, Selena shares an apology letter with Kalcion, in which it is mentioned that the modification cannot proceed. The queen says that Selena is thick-skinned and questions how she can come all the way there. Selena's face turns angry because she does not think that this is the place to live since the queen is there. The queen replies that she does not know how to cherish her life. Furthermore, the queen thinks Selena knows how to confidently repeat things over and over. The queen grabs her to continue talking to her. Selena asks Lisa and Haley to help her, but the queen inhibits them from following her and instructs them to wait there. The queen intimidates them, and if they both carelessly decide to follow and listen to what she and Selena are talking about, she does not know what can happen to them if they keep their mouths shut. The queen inquires from Selena about Ariel's death. The queen thinks Selena keeps threatening her, and it sounds like if she does not stop being near Kalcion, she's going to die like Ariel. Selena replies, how can she understand the mind of a dead person? If she even does so, she does not think she will say anything. After the argument, the queen lets Selena go. It is crystal clear that she knows something, but the key is how to pressure her to tell the story from now on. Later on, Selena says to the queen that she is sincere about the Duke's excellence. However, the queen tells her that whether she is sincere or not, there is no change in the fact that the Duke is her. Selena labels the queen a bad bitch. The queen counters her and at the same time calls Selena a bad bitch. Moreover, Selena says it is annoying whenever she gets involved with the queen, and even though she is not bad compared to her, she is kind. On the other hand, the queen agrees with Selena, but glorifies her daughter, Infernal, on top of the level of cuteness. Society is swarmed by so many strong-willed people. The queen and the princess enter the dukedom and are welcomed by the staff there. Ariel, who lives peacefully, is targeted and insulted by individuals who want to look good, according to the queen. The queen says it does not make sense to fight with them when she is unfairly outnumbered. It is a play that Rosalind has made to achieve that. The queen tells the princess that if she has entered the dukedom, she needs to live quietly. At the same time, Kalcion makes his presence known and reveals that he has heard something that he should not have heard. At a party, he says to Selena that he came because he was worried about her being alone there. He announces there that Selena is the guest of Lenbird and he invited her. A girl at a party tells him that he has never introduced her as a guest, which is why she has only remembered her as his woman. Duke replies that it looks like her father gives everything he has to the government. Moreover, he says that he did not bring Selena to be a woman to warm his bed. His feelings towards her are sincere and loyal. He warns everyone that all the guys should treat Selena seriously. He sits with her and says that he is angry because seeing one of his people being treated like that, he cannot be mad like this. Moreover, he says that he already did not feel good about the note they received this morning, and she also looks nervous. Do not hold back and endure it from now on. So she was listening to all that crap before that. She replies to him that she needs to do that to fight or do something to enter society, asks about the reason for her presence here, and has to search for the perpetrator who hurt Ariel. Duke says to her that there is no need for her to experience the same thing again. At the end of the day, she and Ariel are two different people, looking for another way to enter society because he does not want his people to be humiliated in a place without him. However, the trace of Ariel is clear through the last assassination attempt. It does not matter what kind of person she is. It is the fact that she is his wife, and it is only the second time that they are looking for the perpetrator. He allows her to do whatever she wants. She thinks that she has gotten used to being cursed and criticized without reason. She thinks that she has gotten used to it from her long acting career. She thinks that she will handle it, but in reality she cannot do it from the past up until now because she too had a hard time. Suddenly, Duke comes towards her, hugs her, and says, "Calm down quickly." She says that she cannot believe he has seen through her like this, taking her life as an actress in vain. She feels happy and thinks that it was worth it to get cursed today because they had a good harvest. She feels thankful to him as he saved her when she was in an emergency. Now people will think that the Duke of Lenbird is sincere with Selena and believe it. Kalcion corrects Selena that he is sincere for her. Selena takes a dig at him that Kalcion was also sincere with Ariel too. Although they are in a contractual relationship, Selena still ponders if Kalcion is interested in her and if they will get married. She does not expect Kalcion to confess his love so suddenly. Selena composes herself and responds to Kalcion that they belong to different worlds and someday she has to return. Although she still has undone businesses in this world too, therefore she thanks Kalcion for his feelings. When Kalcion acts shocked upon hearing about marriage, Selena swiftly reminds him of his own words. She recounts how Kalcion confesses with his mouth about thinking to marry Selena in front of all the people. Selena tells him not to be embarrassed. It was bound to happen after they have improved their acting skills. It's just that Kalcion said it in advance. Selena inquires if Kalcion did not mean to confess marriage, then what did he mean by sincerity? Kalcion clarifies that he has spent so many memories with Selena, and by sincerity, he means he does not think of her as a disposable person. And if she desires to stay in this world, Kalcion is ready to help her both financially and mentally. It also includes that he does not want to hurt Selena during this job. Moreover, Kalcion is also sincere about her swordsmanship. Kalcion offers to help her raise her skill, but Selena denies the proposal. Selena fears that if she learns from the Duke, it will end her hobby and she does not desire to choose the hard path. Kalcion reiterates his offer, but Selena is firm on her decision. On their way back, Kalcion invites Selena for shopping. Selena is also excited to spread rumors that Duke of Lenbert is dating Selena. Selena recommends the dessert cafe nearby, which Juna recommended to her a while ago. In the cafe, the manager panics to welcome such esteemed guests at his cafe, and he quickly orders to ready his best table for the Duke. Selena asserts that treatment with the Duke is entirely different. When she came here with Juna, they were completely ignored by the cafe management. Kalcion asserts Selena always wanted to visit this place. Selena affirms she likes this place, even though she is not much into sweets. The manager requests them to be patient as he intends to present them with the best product of his cafe. Selena can't hold herself from trying the starters, but Kalcion decides to taste the food first to ensure there is not any poison in the food. Selena replies that if there is little plausibility of poison, Kalcion should also not eat the food, as he is more important than Selena. Kalcion confidently replies that he will be fine as he has immuned himself against poisons, and Selena lets him try first. Kalcion's expressions frighten Selena, and she impulsively inquires about the poison, but it turns out that his expressions are because of the sweetness. One after the other, Kalcion tastes the entire menu. Before they leave the place, the manager rushes with their specialty. It's a low-sugar cake. As expected, the cake turns out to be worth the wait. Kalcion's face turns red when Selena uses his spoon for the cake. There is certainly a bond built in between the two. Selena is overwhelmed by Juna's skills. She has come up with her. Selena is confident to grab the attention of the entire hall with her looks. Selena finds today's shopping experience remarkably delightful compared to last time, expressing a preference for classical products over extravagant ones. As she admires the aesthetics of the store, her satisfaction evident, the Duke playfully suggests if she desires to purchase the entire establishment. Selena's mind ponders the vast wealth that must be at the disposal of the young Duke, allowing him the possibility of acquiring the entire collection of stores that align with her tastes. That is why people turn upside down hearing about Lenbert, however. Selena is contented with what she deserves, since she does not entail a bloodline in this world, though she has been working to figure out her trials in this world, because one day someone may question her background. Kalcion shows her the identity paper, which carries her belonging to this world. The paper is issued by a respective government office. Selena glances at her identified certificate in curiosity and probes if she can buy land here with this piece of paper. Kalcion affirms that as long as she is in the domains of Lenbert, Selena can buy possessions. He holds on to proof of her existence in the world, a tangible reminder that she is not just a fleeting dream passing through. This evidence serves as a reminder of her presence in this very world. Selena impulsively inquires at what will happen if she goes back to her world. Kalcion iterates that she will be recorded missing, however. Her existence in this world cannot be written off. The next day, they come across caravans of carriages heading for the event. Kalcion also does not want to be late, as he has to be present to welcome the royal family, which will be announced last. Getting late means an act of treason. Selena thinks they should have attended the ceremony even earlier, but Kalcion declines her suggestion. Selena inquires if there will be a fight between the Thailand and Cyan families. As they make their way to the event, Selena expresses her belief that there might be battles between the influential families. She explains that when a family arrives later than the others, it signifies their wealth and influence, enabling them to bend the rules to suit their desires and preferences. Selena shocks when the carriage suddenly stops due to a wheel anomaly. The driver inspects the wheel and surprisingly finds a wire tangled across the wheel. The driver asserts that he has never seen such a thing, although he inspected the carriage before departure. Kalcion is worried that they may be late, however. Selena puts up an interesting idea. She thinks they should enter the event riding horses instead of carriages. Kalcion hesitates to enter in such a way, but Selena encourages him to go by the horse. Finally, the Duke adheres to her advice, but he trembles with shock when Selena prefers to ride alone rather than join Kalcion. On their way, Kalcion reveals that Selena will be with the First Lady after Lady Orlean enters riding a horse. Kalcion says that Selena's guess about the Count is right. She is a woman, a unique woman, and if they exclude the sons of Count Orlean, she was the only one worthy of being an heir. Even now, there is no one more deserving than her to assume the position. Selena is excited to meet the coolest lady in this world. Kalcion tells her that she will also be coming today, but she does leave sooner than others, as she avoids noisy places. Initially, Selena thought that she may never develop any interest in this world. However, now she is adapting to the environment and customs here. Although Selena fears that she will not be able to leave this place with the lingering feelings being developed lately. They arrive at the entrance just in the nick of time before the guards could close the gates, capturing the attention of everyone already present inside. All eyes are drawn to the individuals from the renowned Lenbert dukedom, their presence commanding the admiration and curiosity of the onlookers. The receptionists extend a warm welcome as they usher inside. As they make their way through the hall, the nobles present can't help but steal glances at the Duke of Lenbert and the enigmatic young woman accompanying him. Observing the Duke's tall and striking figure, it becomes clear to onlookers why he has seemingly found an even more beautiful companion than his late fiancée in just a month. The daughters of the nobles are all over Kalcion, but the acts are unbothered and move alongside Selena. Fionel anxiously ponders about the carriage as she did not see him coming by his carriage. Fionel asks Kalcion for the dance, but Selena interrupts at the right moment and abstains Fionel. Selena advises her to look for a partner instead and takes Kalcion away from her. Poor Fionel can only glare at them from behind. Kalcion hopes there will be no more touching moments for them. However, Selena maintains that she is fine with it for today, as she is here to win if Rosalind comes between. But before she can complete the sentence, Rosalind joins their conversation. Rosalind has probably heard Selena and knowingly asks if they are talking about her. Selena quickly backtracks and tries to cover up her previous words, responding that she was merely curious to see Rosalind. However, Rosalind completely disregards Selena's remark and instead inquires about Kalcion's well-being. Sensing an opportunity, Selena playfully teases Rosalind, suggesting that there might be some issue in her head that prevents her from remembering Selena. Rosalind does not hold back either. She responds with the words, "Well, since it's not a great name that needs to be remembered." Lil joins their conversation at the time when Rosalind was in the midst of an attack. Selena considers Rosalind's backup soldier. Kalcion affirms that he does remember Lady Lil and warmly greets her in response. Selena quickly anticipates Lil's motive. Her gestures suggest that Lil is turned on, ready to test the springs. Moreover, Selena has already heard about her character. Selena decides to respond with social gestures and closes in with Kalcion. She wants to assert that Kalcion only belongs to her. Kalcion introduces Selena to Lil as his girlfriend and conveys his desire to marry Selena soon. Although deep inside her heart, Lil is disappointed to the core hearing the revelation by Kalcion. She acts unbothered. She is firm on not letting any hooker get involved in Kalcion. During the entire course of the event, Kalcion's words resonate in her ears. All heads are tuned to the entrance. When the queen and the princess enter the hall, Selena was probably expecting more members in the family. Kalcion reveals that the king has severe dementia, therefore it's hard for him to visit such places, and the crown prince is out, which leaves the queen and the princess as the only two to represent the royal family. Selena fears with the king's present health, the throne may get into the hands of the wrong person. Kalcion further reveals that the matters of state are divided between the crown prince and the queen. Crown prince handles matters outside the court, while the queen is tasked to handle the matters inside the court. Moreover, the crown bears a notorious personality, therefore he has so many enemies lurking around him. Kalcion is not pleased when Selena tries to compare him to the crown prince, who not only has a bad personality but is short-tempered too. The princess is sore to his eyes, and with his tired personality, he will not bear a competitor to his throne. However, the event will begin without waiting for the prince any further, as the queen is already here. The queen announces the royal family's dance. However, she excuses herself to participate due to her poor health, though the princess takes her place in the dance. Suddenly, Selena grabs Kalcion's hand and drags him out. Selena harbors a deep fear that the queen might inadvertently call out his name instead of a member of her own family. The queen's voice echoes through the room, inadvertently uttering Kalcion's name instead of the intended family member. Selena also does not want anyone to spread the slightest rumor about Kalcion and the princess. Amidst her fears, Selena did not realize that she came too close to Kalcion, as he can feel her breath on his neck. As Selena attempts to pull herself back, Kalcion gently encourages her, drawing her closer and enveloping her in a warm embrace. Sensing her discomfort, Selena quickly offers an excuse, suggesting that the dance must have concluded and it is time to return inside. With a gentle release, she frees herself from Kalcion's embrace. As they rush inside, Selena wonders why she acts so self-conscious, though she is still caught up in the moment when they were together at a lonely place close to each other. Shaking her head, Selena drives off the thoughts and enters the hall. Kalcion is much of a celebrity amongst the nobles. The nobles approach him, probing his well-being, one after the other. The man Kalcion is so considerate about turns out to be Baron Zeon, Ariella's father. Baron requests a moment in the private to discuss something. Kalcion advises Selena not to leave the hall, since there are places she must see alone. It's been 2 months since Ariella's death, and Selena rightly understands that her presence can make the Baron uncomfortable, as she is in the place where her daughter was supposed to be. While Selena quietly enjoys her drink, a noble approaches her and strives to have a conversation with Selena. The man carries considerable information about the liquors, and Selena responds with a subtle gesture that politely indicates her lack of interest in the man swirling around her. She remains unimpressed by his old-fashioned line and refrains from engaging with him further. On top of that, she can't have a go at him because of Lady Jeanette. Unimpressed by his continuous exaggeration, she advises him to go and rest as he appears entirely drunk. Despite Selena's lack of interest, the persistent man shows no signs of relenting. He continues to push his advances by asking Selena to accompany him to an empty room. This is when Selena loses her temper. She cannot further endure sexual harassment. Selena bursts out at him. She warns to beat the shit out of him if he continues to trouble her. One after the other, the nobles keep flirting with Selena, but she masterfully keeps buzzing them off. Disappointed with the indecent noblemen around, Selena strides forward to join the ladies. In this way, she will be able to know what happened to Ariel. Bioral of the royal family commends Selena's mastery of knocking the indecent men so neatly. Bioral's appearance suggests that hails from a family equally influential like Fionel. In an attempt to seek her true motives, Selena introduces her to Bioral. Bioral seems to know Selena for her solid entry to the banquet. Selena asks that Bioral is being friendly with no concealed motives and joins her for the drink. With Bioral's announcement, the glasses are raised for Selena's classic entry. Selena has joined the gathering for the drinkers. Putting her doubts aside, she decides to go with the flow and enjoys her time out there. To her disappointment, not a single one could challenge her with a drink, and she ends up as the last one standing. She still enjoyed every bit of her company in the gathering because they were not blatantly rude like others. On the other, the conversation between the Baron and Kalcion continues, which impels Selena to look for the restroom on her own. In the scary mansion, Selena needs someone to be with her, and she finds perfect company in Fionel. Selena drags her hair and threatens her to quietly follow her. Poor Fionel can't do much in the resistance either. As they head towards the restroom, Fionel suddenly erupts at Selena, expressing her frustration with being treated as a mere servant to guide her. Selena, taken aback, chuckles in response to Fionel's outburst and surprisingly agrees with her speculations. Fueled by anger, Fionel explodes like a volcano, seething with resentment at being treated as if she were worthless. Selena, maintaining her composure, retorts, "Even when they are rolling around on the ground, precious gems still shine," intensifying Fionel's anguish even further. Selena looks down on Fionella and despises her for still standing in her way despite her plain chances of seducing the Duke. Selena reveals that Fionella is not the only one around who mocks Selena for her background. Rosalind and the Queen had also shared a similar view for her. Selena believes that the constant reminders of her mortality stem from her connection with the Duke. Furthermore, the persistent nature of these reminders implies that those around her are aware of how Ariel, the Duke's former fiancée, met her untimely demise. Fear is imminent on Fionella's face, as if the truth has been disclosed to Selena. Fionella stutters and calls Ariel's demise a suicide, and even if it is not a suicide, she does not know a thing about it. Curiously, strides closer to Fionella. Further, her closure further petrifies Fionel. Selena inquires what inspired Fionel to warn Selena if she does not know a thing. Deep down in Selena's heart, a whirlwind of questions emerges. Why is Fionel fretted to death? Rather, it should have been her to petrify. Fionel tries to compose herself and maintains that she is only anxious about the Duke's reputation, and she hates Selena due to her closeness with the Duke. Fionel shouts at Selena for not loving Kalcion sincerely, and Selena's death, due to her greed, will tarnish the Duke's image, and she does not want that to happen. Selena ponders if Fionel died because of her greed too. However, as far as she knows, their marriage was for mere convenience, and Ariel never milked any benefits from the Duke at all. Out of curiosity, Selena impulsively probes about Ariel's greed. Fionel denies uttering anything and warns Selena to be aware of the men around her. Selena assumes that Ariella might have gotten mixed up with the men from the high society despite her engagement with Kalcion and died at their hands. But considering the customs in the high society, having a lover besides marriage may be deemed a flaw, but it's not considered a reason to call off the engagement. Selena ponders if something worse than a relationship happened with Ariel, and Lady Jeanette could not let it pass and eventually killed Ariel, or she might have hired a murderer to kill Ariel. Considering the revelations she heard about Ariella, it is sure that Arella had been causing problems with the men from the high society. Selena first needs to know about the men at the high society to understand the true motives of her murder. She decides to hurry back and tease out the noble ladies about Ariel's death. She enters the dark, scary gallery all alone as Fionel already ran back to the banquet hall. Selena composes herself and tries to act courageous, but she trembles in fear when a man suddenly approaches her. She finds a handsome young noble standing before her, who probes the reason behind wandering all alone in such dark place. Selena conveys her dispensability to find the bathroom. The considerate man gently shows her the way to the bathroom nearby. The man turns out to be an employee at the mansion, though he is not attending the banquet due to his workload. Leaving Selena at the entrance of the banquet, the man hastens back to make his preparations for the main event of National Foundation Day. Upon entering the hall, Kalcion swiftly approaches her, his expression filled with concern, and anxiously inquires about her whereabouts during all this time. All heads are towards the crown prince entering the hall. Selena flips her head when she realizes that the man who escorted her moments before is the crown prince himself. Today marks the 3000th anniversary of Ikline. The Crown Prince raises his drink high in the air, intending to lift Ikline to its former glories and punish the forces coming his way. His tone resonates with a sense of confidence, almost as if he is already envisioning himself as the future king of Ikline, and the cheers of Ikline supporters echo throughout the mansion. The Crown Prince's growing influence raises eyebrows for Kalcion and Selena. When Kalcion inquires about Selena, she accepts that she met the Crown Prince earlier and the prince was kind enough to help her reach the banquet hall safely. Kalcion cannot believe his ears. A man who is accused of assassinating his servant because he annoyed him has been so kind to Selena. Selena does not believe in his speculations. Her experience with the Crown Prince has been entirely opposite. Moreover, no matter what his personality might be in reality, she cannot deny the fact that the Crown Prince looks extremely handsome. Kalcion is not pleased with her continuous iterations of the word handsome for the prince. Finding amusement in Kalcoin's sulking behavior, Selena decides to uplift his spirits with some encouraging words. She playfully compliments him, stating that he is even more handsome than the Crown Prince himself. Kalcion suggests that they should dance as everyone is watching them in anticipation, and Selena agrees. Kalcoin embraces her tenderly as they gracefully showcase their moves to the rhythm of the music. The entire ballroom is captivated by their impeccable dancing skills, leaving everyone in awe. Selena appreciates Kalcion's dancing skills despite seeming awkward. Kalcion does not miss out on the details. The dance with Kalcion is the only part she has enjoyed at the ball till now. The Crown Prince claps in recognition of their commendable dancing skills. The beauty of their moves impelled him to watch them with admiration plundering him his eyes. Selena quickly introduces herself and begs pardon for her mistake earlier, since she failed to recognize your highness. Crown Prince knowingly probes if she is the mountain bird of Lenbird, as he heard a rumor about a mountain bird who flew out of nowhere in Lenbird, and the Duke could not let go of her because of her beauty. Selena responds that has never come across any such rumors. The Crown Prince tries to approach Selena, commenting on how adorable it is to see her wandering around the hall. Selena thinks the Crown Prince is nicer than her thoughts about him, a man truly the opposite of the rumors about him. The Crown Prince turns his attention towards Kalcion and thanks him for paying a visit this time. The prince takes a jab at Kalcoin and teasingly questions if there have been any monster attacks since his presence at the banquet. In reality, Kalcion has been making up such excuses just to avoid gatherings in the capital. The Crown Prince insists Kalcion share a few words as they are meeting. After a while, the prince asks Kalcion to his dance with Selena, and the Duke half-heartedly lets him have a dance with Selena. On the other hand, Selena does not spare a moment before agreeing to the dance. Dancing with the Crown Prince on the first ball is surely an achievement. Poor Kalcion can't do anything but glare the Crown Prince in wrath. When Selena inquires about the motives, the prince blatantly denies any intention to use Selena for instigating Kalcion. The Crown Prince comments that Selena did not choose the right man for her and that life at Lenbird is not something she deserves. Shockingly, the prince proposes Selena to choose him over the Duke, and it will make her even more famous than her relationship with the Duke. With his skill in mind reading, the prince accurately discerns the shift in Selena's perception of him as she learns of his true identity as the Crown Prince. Sensing an opportunity, he confidently approaches Selena and whispers compliments about her beauty. Selena, taken aback by the sudden change in the prince's behavior and unsure of his intentions, feels a sense of confusion. In the dazzling ballroom, Selena finds herself caught in a whirlwind of emotions as an unexpected encounter unfolds with the enigmatic Crown Prince. The episode begins with Selena's thoughts and doubts consuming her, questioning the true intentions behind the prince's sudden attention. Selena is puzzled, contemplating whether the Crown Prince suspects her or if he possesses crucial information related to the case. As she engages in conversation with the Crown Prince, she starts to question his true nature and whether his reputation as a ruthless prince is accurate. Confused, Selena wonders if the Crown Prince's advances are a mere facade or if there's something deeper behind his charming demeanor. She questions his motives, contemplating whether he is being nice to her because he suspects her involvement with Kalcion. The rumors that Selena has spread about her ability to captivate the heart of the Duke weigh heavily on her mind. She reflects on their impact as many people have fallen for the deception. However, the Crown Prince's genuine interest leaves her wondering if he truly knows her true identity. Curious about Selena's background, the Crown Prince inquires about her whereabouts, mentioning that he has only heard rumors and knows little about her. Selena is taken aback by his innocence and ponders her next move, aware of her position as a commoner attending a ball for the first time. As Selena contemplates the Crown Prince's true intentions, she questions the connection between his actions and the ongoing case. She wonders if his advances toward her hold a deeper significance, leading her to consider his potential involvement. Selena realizes the importance of understanding the Crown Prince's true nature and motives. She recognizes him as the greatest threat and contemplates the significance of his behavior. If he acts similarly toward other women, it could be a vital clue to unraveling the mysteries of the case. After the ball, Selena and Kalcion discuss their findings, reflecting on the significance of Juna's behavior and the clues left by other characters. They recognize the importance of considering perspectives from those who were friendly toward Erel, as they may hold valuable insights. Selena's curiosity is piqued when Kalcion mentions his conversation with Baron Zeon. They both acknowledge the need to consider the various characters' motivations and piece together the puzzle surrounding them. As they delve deeper into their investigation, Selena and Kalcion contemplate the truth behind the rumors and conflicting testimonies. They discuss the importance of remaining cautious of the Crown Prince's involvement while also paying attention to the clues left by Lady Jeanette and Juna. Their discussion takes an unexpected turn when Selena notices Juna's suspicious behavior. Recognizing the potential significance, Selena suggests discreetly following her, hoping that it will lead them to a crucial clue or provide insights into the identity of the culprit. With determination in their hearts, Selena and Kalcion trail Juna, eager to unravel the mysteries surrounding Erel's case and bring the truth to light. In the vibrant town, a lively festival is in full swing, captivating the hearts of all who partake in its festivities. Among the throngs of celebratory attendees, two figures disguised in elaborate costumes, Selena and Kalcion, weave their way through the bustling streets with grace and subtlety, concealing their true intentions from prying eyes. As they navigate the jubilant atmosphere, a question arises in their minds. Should they retreat into a secluded alley to avoid drawing undue attention while dressed in their conspicuous attire? Selena contemplates the potential awkwardness of their sudden disappearance, aware that their elaborate disguises might raise suspicion. Acknowledging the validity of her concern, Kalcion proposes an alternative approach. They should assume the personas of a couple deeply in love, seeking privacy away from the prying gazes of the crowd. With a mischievous glitter in her eye, Selena suggests they act as passionate lovers, overcome with excitement and an unquenchable desire to be close to each other. In a display of playful affection, they embrace, their performance eliciting a mix of amusement, annoyance, and disapproval from the surrounding onlookers. As they eagerly await the coveted invitation, Selena's frustration grows when contemplating their primary suspect, a woman whose unpredictable behavior tests their patience. Despite possessing a wealth of knowledge, she insists on following her own path, deviating from Selena's meticulously devised plans. Kalcion keenly observes Selena's mounting exasperation and endeavors to uncover a potential weakness in their suspect's armor. However, to their surprise, a woman appears invulnerable, navigating life with a boldness that defies expectation. Selena's frustration deepens as she ponders the origins of this audacious figure who disrupts their carefully constructed strategy. In a moment of self-reflection, Selena realizes the importance of maintaining composure. She understands that allowing personal grievances to cloud her judgment could jeopardize their mission. With steely determination, she resolves to set aside her frustrations, embracing the professionalism required for the task at hand. She recognizes the significance of this mission and refuses to let her temper impede their progress. Their conversation takes a turn toward the suspect's influence over the Duke, their primary target. Selena and Kalcion exchange information about recent changes in the household staff, orchestrated by the suspect herself. Astonishingly, the Duke has fallen under her spell, leaving Selena and Kalcion astounded by the extent of her power. Whispers ripple through the town, speculating about the allure she possesses. Men flock to her side, enchanted by her charm, while she remains seemingly oblivious to their advances. Selena recalls the transformation of another woman, Erel, who initially trembled at the touch of a man but succumbed to the temptations of the world. Will history repeat itself? As they plan their next move, Selena suggests a strategic meeting point for the upcoming tea party, a cosmetic store that will afford them a vantage point to observe the suspect's actions. Kalcion readily agrees, understanding the importance of meticulous observation. In this moment, they set aside thoughts of danger and uncertainty, allowing themselves to be swept up in the joyous atmosphere of the festival. They decide to savor the festivities, immersing themselves fully in the celebration, creating treasured memories along the way. Unbeknownst to Selena and Kalcion, their intricate game of seduction and the web of secrets they navigate are slowly unraveling, inching them closer to the truth. Little do they know that each step they take brings them nearer to the heart of the mystery they seek to unravel. As the episode nears its conclusion, the stage is set for the next chapter of their enthralling journey. Selena and Kalcion find themselves in an awkward predicament. Selena proposes the idea of practicing kissing every day, a suggestion that leaves Kalcion flustered and hesitant. The notion of a real kiss feels embarrassing to him, but Selena insists on the importance of physical touch, especially after the incident during a previous operation. Reluctantly, Kalcion agrees and they begin their practice. Selena demonstrates by showering him with kisses all over his face, aiming to desensitize him to physical contact. However, when they find themselves in a cozy bedroom with flickering candles, Kalcion's self-awareness impedes their progress. The intimate setting makes him uncomfortable, causing him to hesitate. Apologizing, Kalcion requests to postpone the practice for another time. Selena understands his unease and agrees to his request. The moment passes, leaving them with unresolved tension between them. Meanwhile, Selena decides to step out and investigate further. She encounters the father of Errol, the deceased girl she has replaced. The man's cold attitude surprises Selena as he shows little remorse over his daughter's death. Their conversation takes a dark turn as he reveals his obsession with money and blames Errol for squandering his potential fortune. Deeply unsettled by the encounter, Selena returns home with a heavy heart. She confides in Kalcion, sharing her thoughts and the unsettling nature of the aristocratic society they are entangled in. The lack of empathy and disregard for human life weighs heavily on her. As Selena contemplates the possibility of her own death, she questions whether Kalcion would even mourn her loss. To her surprise, Kalcion confesses that he felt furious and uneasy when she was nearly assassinated. The incident stirred a mix of emotions within him, much like seeing an injured soldier but with a deeper impact. Their conversation is interrupted by Diane, who brings important news. He informs Selena and Kalcion that they have successfully tracked down the maid, Juna, and discovered her true family background. Selena finds herself faced with the decision of which tea party to attend. Seeking advice, she consults Juna, who suggests choosing the Heist family's tea party. Despite Lil's negative encounter with the Heist family's daughter at the ball, Juna believes that the gathering presents a better opportunity to make acquaintances. Taking Juna's advice into consideration, Selena decides to attend the Heist family's tea party. She seeks guidance from Lady Jeanette on proper etiquette and preparations. Lady Jeanette advises Selena to act similarly to how she did at the palace ball, suggesting that as long as she maintains the basic etiquette she has learned, the tea party will be manageable. Selena reflects on the importance of keeping up appearances and the need to hide her quarrels and rebellious actions from Lady Jeanette. While Lady Jeanette may hold valuable information regarding Errol's death, Selena decides not to press the matter further at this time. With Lady Jeanette's guidance and a helpful tip about hidden codes or signs in the invitations, Selena feels more confident about attending the tea party. She dons a beautiful dress chosen by Lady Jeanette and prepares to make a grand entrance. Meanwhile, Kalcion expresses admiration for Selena's appearance and wishes her well. He playfully requests a goodbye kiss, reminding Selena of their intimate moments together. With a mix of determination and a touch of nervousness, Selena sets off for the tea party, accompanied by her bodyguards. As Selena arrives at the tea party, she realizes it is her first official event without Kalcion by her side. Despite this, she gains confidence from the presence of her bodyguards and assures herself that she can handle the situation. Little does Selena know what awaits her at the tea party. As Selena attends the tea party, Kalcion expresses his concerns about her safety while he attends his own activities. However, he reassures himself that Selena is accompanied by a team of capable guards and will be fine unless something drastic happens. Meanwhile, at the gymnasium, Kalcion is surprised to find all the good spots already taken. He realizes that arriving right on time, as he did for the palace ball, does not hold the same advantage for tea parties. Despite the slight inconvenience, Kalcion remains composed and takes a seat. Selena engages in conversation with other attendees, navigating the world of gossip and socializing. She notices that mentioning Kalcion's name immediately earns her respect and a step back from those who would mock her. However, she also encounters Lady Lyrel, who brings up past incidents involving Selena's undergarments, reminding her of her rebellious actions. While Selena tries to keep the conversation light, she feels the weight of social expectations and the constant need to hide her true self. She reflects on the fact that Kalcion constantly buys her dresses, but doesn't want her to show them to anyone else, making her feel trapped in his possessiveness. As Selena converses with another attendee, she discovers that her dress is from the esteemed Lamer brand. The attendee points out that the ribbon on her dress hasn't been tied properly, a subtle indication that Juna may have intentionally made a mistake. Selena thanks the attendee for bringing it to her attention and excuses herself to fix the ribbon. She heads towards the restroom and follows the directions given by the attendee. However, upon arriving, she is met with a disgruntled maid who berates her and treats her with disrespect. Selena realizes that the maid mistook her for a servant and becomes frustrated with the situation. In another corner of the tea party, gossip and intrigue swirl around Lady Rosaline. Selena overhears Lady Lyrel badmouthing Rosaline, questioning her claims to become the next Duchess and hinting at secret meetings with the Crown Prince. The attendees are captivated by the gossip, and Selena realizes that Lady Lyrel's words could cause a stir if they were to reach Rosaline's ears. As Selena confronts Lady Lyrel about her gossiping, she manages to extract some valuable information. Lady Lyrel reveals that her actions were driven by Lady Rosaline's requests and the need to cooperate for family interests. Selena realizes that Lady Lyrell has been trying to impress Rosaline and secure her family's business connections. Selena, intrigued by the situation, offers to help Lady Lyrell by delivering a letter to Kalcion on her behalf. She presents herself as a potential friend who can influence Kalcion's decisions. Lady Lyrell is initially hesitant, but Selena's persuasive words and preparedness sway her. Reluctantly, Lady Lyrell agrees to write the letter, seeing an opportunity to save her family's business. However, Selena has a hidden agenda. She intends to use Lady Lyrell's letter as leverage and gain more information about Rosaline's intentions. Selena's plan is to show the letter to Kalcion and expose Rosaline's manipulative behavior. As Lady Lyrell starts writing the letter, Selena seizes the opportunity to physically overpower her, preventing any possible betrayal. She retrieves the letter and leaves Lady Lyrell behind, contemplating her next move. In the meantime, Selena spots Rosaline and the Crown Prince in the distance. She realizes that they are closer than she thought and senses a romantic connection between them. This revelation surprises Selena, as Rosaline had previously hinted at her ambitions to become the Crown Princess. As Selena observes their interaction, the Crown Prince notices her presence and engages in conversation. He remarks on her close relationship with Rosaline and comments on their apparent affection. Selena tries to downplay their connection, but the Crown Prince sees through her lie. They continue talking, and the Crown Prince admits that he is attracted to Selena despite her belonging to Duke Lambert. Selena becomes flustered and tries to discourage his advances, reminding him of her commitment to Kalcion. However, the Crown Prince persists, expressing his genuine feelings for her. Caught off guard, Selena realizes the gravity of the situation. She understands the risks and complications involved, but cannot deny the fluttering feeling in her heart. Conflicted, she contemplates her options and how her actions may impact her relationship with Kalcion. Unbeknownst to Selena, Kalcion unexpectedly appears, interrupting their conversation. As Kalcion sends off Selena's carriage with a strong escort, he can't help but worry about her safety. He had foreseen a potential danger and fears that Selena may be in harm's way. Despite the precautions taken, Kalcion's concern for Selena is overwhelming. Unable to shake off his worries, Kalcion abruptly leaves the gymnasium, much to the confusion of those around him. He rushes off, determined to find Selena and ensure her safety. The Crown Prince notices Kalcion's possessive behavior and warns him to be careful, reminding him that Selena is not his property. Selena, caught in the middle of their exchange, observes their interaction, baffled by their intense rivalry over her. She can't help but question Kalcion's true intentions and wonders if his possessiveness stems from genuine concern or a desire to control her. As the tension rises, Kalcion and the Crown Prince engage in a battle of words, each claiming their stake in Selena's life. The Crown Prince warns Kalcion of the consequences of his actions, while Kalcion remains unyielding in his possessiveness. Unable to endure the situation any longer, Selena voices her frustration, questioning Kalcion's motives and urging him to release his grip on her. She questions his sudden change in behavior and challenges him to consider whether his possessiveness will cause her to flee. Kalcion, taken aback by Selena's reaction, realizes that he may have gone too far. He tries to explain his actions and confesses that he forgot the significance of Selena's presence in his life. Selena acknowledges his mistake but remains skeptical about his intentions. Their conversation takes an unexpected turn as Selena reveals that the Crown Prince's advances have stirred conflicting emotions within her. She reflects on her encounters with him and wonders if there may be more to his actions than mere manipulation. Meanwhile, in a separate location, Diane, Selena's loyal companion, contemplates the situation. He recognizes that Rosaline holds control over Lady Lyrell and suspects a connection between her and the Crown Prince. Diane speculates about Rosaline's previous desire to become the Crown Princess and wonders if her feelings for the Crown Prince persist. As Selena and Diane discuss their findings, Selena assures Diane that she doesn't believe the Crown Prince's affections are genuine. She dismisses the idea that he could truly fall for her, believing that he is incapable of loving anyone but himself. With this newfound understanding, Selena prepares herself for the upcoming tea party, determined to navigate the complicated relationships and bid her farewell to the attendees. Meanwhile, those observing Selena and Kalcion's interaction at the tea party find their dynamic intriguing and eagerly await further developments. The atmosphere at the tea party is lively, and Lady Selena is pleasantly surprised to see the Crown Prince in attendance. She had assumed that he would leave soon after realizing the nature of the gathering. However, the Crown Prince decides to stay, much to Selena's confusion. The guests at the party express their excitement at seeing the Crown Prince and show their admiration for Lady Selena. They compare her to the Greek god Dionysus, praising her ability to drink and her charismatic presence. Selena is taken aback by the attention but appreciates the warm welcome she receives. As the party continues, the Crown Prince engages in conversation with Selena. His charm and compliments make her blush, and she feels a mixture of flattery and embarrassment. Selena is both surprised and pleased that the crown prince is showing interest in her despite her doubts about his intentions. And that wraps up another thrilling recap, but the adventure doesn't end here. Prepare to be shocked by our second recap's unexpected plot twists and witness the evolution of your favorite characters. Subscribe to our channel if you want more twists, turns, and heart-pounding stories. Stay tuned for our next recap.